Vancouver. Is it nicer? I know nothing about geography, you know. Well, we are here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Unearthed Arcana Sorcerer. Now, this week, I think we skipped a week of Unearthed Arcana. I feel like there was a week where we didn't get anything. It feels like it's been a while since the Ranger and Rogue. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the Sorcerer's come out, and you know, we've got a 4-page group of Sorcerer origins. I've heard a lot about it. People throughout the week have told me that the Stone Sorcery one is weird, but the others are really good, apparently. So generally, what I've heard from y'all is that there's a really good bit of feedback from the Unearthed Arcana Sorcerer, so I'm interested in that. And then, as usual, maybe there's a little bit tacked on at the end with this stone thing. I don't know. We will find out. Yes, Sydney and I are ordering our coffee maker tonight, so looking forward to that. Thank you. Let's see. Main problems don't know until the day off. Yeah, that makes sense. It's been a few weeks. Yeah, okay. Usually they say it's going to be weekly, but fuck them. You know, fuck them. Anyway, let's start taking a look into this, and if you guys have questions, thoughts, feelings, or emotions that you'd like to share with me, then I will be your counselor for the day when it comes to all things Dungeons and Dragons. When does this come out? I think on Monday it came out. They usually released on a Monday. So it's been a couple of days. Sorry I haven't got to it, but there you go. Deal with it! I'm kidding. Okay, so we got Favored Soul, Phoenix Sorcery, Sea Sorcery, Sea Sorcery, she sells sea sorcerers at the sorcery store, and the Stone Sorcerer. As usual, this is playtest material. Please don't hurt us, we know it's terrible. I'm kidding, it's probably quite good. So, Favored Soul, actually me and Phil on a... God, what show is it? Sunday Homebrew and Review. Must have been a few weeks ago. We had a look at a Favored Soul. So this will be interesting to see how this stands up in comparison. So, not the bees! So, Favored Soul. Sometimes the spark of magic that fuels a sorcerer comes from a divine source that glimmers within the soul. Getting a Twilight vibe. Having such a Favored Soul, your innate magic might come from a distant but powerful familial connection to a divine being. Perhaps your ancestor was an angel, transformed into a mortal and sent to fight in a god's name, or your birth might align with an ancient prophecy marking you as a servant of the gods or a chosen vessel of divine magic. This is nice and snowflakey. Favored souls with their natural magnetism and strong personalities are often seen as threats by traditional religious hierarchies. As outsiders who command the power of gods, these sorcerers can undermine the existing order and claim a direct tie to the divine. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Is there a way to get notification when you come out? For Unearthed Arcana, you could follow Mike Miles and Chris Perkins on Twitter, and you could turn on their notifications. That could work, I guess. If you're wondering about the stream, then you can turn on my notifications, I think at the top by following, you can switch notifications on. Talking about trees, and I was very unsure if I offended them. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so in some cultures, only those who claim the power of a favored soul may command religious power. In these lands, ecclesiastical positions are dominated by a few bloodlines and preserved over generations. So, you know, cool little bit of fluff for these guys, I suppose. Interesting, certainly different bit for a sorcerer as well. So, divine magic. Your link to the divine allows you to learn spells normally associated with the cleric class. Interesting. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn a sorcerer cantrip or a sorcerer spell of first level or higher, you can choose a new spell from the cleric spell list, in addition to the sorcerer spell list. You must otherwise obey all the restrictions for selecting the spell, and it becomes a sorcerer spell for you. That's interesting. I've seen a few of these Unearthed Arcanas where they let you do cleric-y things, and I think the same was true of the Favored Soul homebrew that we looked at the other week, which is interesting. Maybe a god turned into a swan and slept with your mum. It happens, you know, especially if you're living in and around Greece. Hey, Demon with the cheer. Thank you, my friend. He says, I'm just going to leave these here because why not? Also, hello, Will. Hello, Demon. How are you doing, my friends? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, there's the cheer thing. Oh, that's a thing now. Apparently there's an actual game called Cripple and Necrodancer. Sound familiar? Yeah, I think it's a video game which is like a music-based thingy. Yeah. Chosen by the gods like paragamers envision themselves. I've been chosen. I am God's gift to role-playing games. Alright, so you get Supernatural Resilience. At first level, the Blessing of the Gods grants you enhanced durability. Your hit point maximum increases by 1, and it increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in the class. Sure. It's not particularly great, really, is it? I mean, it scales a bit, but by the time that you're going from level 7 to 8, 1 extra hit point doesn't really mean too much, but I guess that's nice, especially at lower levels. That's quite useful. You've got Favored by the Gods. Starting at first level, Divine Power guards your destiny. If you fail a saving throw or miss with an attack roll, you can roll 2d4 and add it to the total, possibly changing the outcome. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. That's interesting that you get to do it on attack rolls as well. Extra 2d4, so at the very worst you get a +2 to it. So that's pretty good, especially at first level, and you get to do it once per short rest, so it's not super, like, abusable. Mayfinger Claudia, yeah, that's interesting, there you go. The Necro Dancer. Man, they made the game after her, or maybe the other way around, who knows. Blessed Countenance. At 6th level, your divine essence causes you to undergo a minor physical transformation. Your appearance takes on an otherworldly version of one of the following qualities, your choice. Beautiful, youthful, kind, or imposing. Is imposing like they stay too long at your house when you want them to leave? Whatever your choice, if your proficiency bonus applies to a charisma check, double that bonus. That's interesting. Let me read that again. 6th level. Undergo a minor physical transformation, and if your proficiency bonus applies to a charisma check, double that bonus. Okay, it's kind of interesting. How do you look kind, I guess? I mean, some people just have a kind looking face, I suppose. At 6th level you can get a nice face, so it's not a multi-class fitsman, it's like a God's favourite soul, it's 1 AM, please leave. Multi-class, not as such, it's kind of like a cross-breed, I suppose. You look like a grandma. You look kind like a grandma. You look nice and old, and like you might have nice biscuits. Okay, so Divine Purity. At 14th level, you become immune to disease, poison damage, and the poison conditioned. Sure, immune to disease, poison, and poison condition. It's nice. At 14th level, I guess that can come in handy. And you get Unearthly Recovery. At 18th level, you gain the ability to overcome your grievous injuries. As a bonus action, when you have less than half your hit points remaining, you regain a number of hit points equal to half your hit point maximum. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish the long rest. Sure, 18th level, do some cool stuff. That's pretty good. That's a nice heal, especially for a sorcerer. But you're already taking cleric spells via divine magic, so you can do healing. Do healing spells by that point. I guess that's nice. Especially at 18th level, you might have quite a large hit point maximum, seeing as you have supernatural resistance, so you have an extra 18 hit points than you would normally have as a sorcerer, plus anything else that you can find. Phoenix is lit. I have to have a look at it. How's it going, Skag? Good to see you, my man. Hey, Shadow. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah. So alright, that is the Favored Soul. I remember looking at this if the homebrew with Phil, and he and I not really caring for it that much. And I still kind of feel the same way. It's not like it's not fine. Like, you know, this is clearly nothing is crazy here, in my opinion. You know, yeah, nothing's like super overpowered at all in any way. Really, it's kind of chill, you know, for a sorcerer. It's just it doesn't excite me very much, you know. The Favored Soul, it's not particularly like, oh wow, he's playing a Favored Soul, which is fine. Not every class is to be super sexy and original, but sounded like a monkey. Okay, so Phoenix Sorcerer. Apparently this one is lit. So your power draws from the immortal flame that fuels the legendary Phoenix. I know a guy who would really like this one. His name is Crimson Phoenix. You or your ancestors perhaps rendered a Phoenix a great service, or you were born in its presence. Whatever the cause, a shard of the Phoenix's power dwells within you. That power is a mixed blessing. Like the mythical creature, you can invoke fiery energy and gain the ability to cheat death itself. Interesting. This power comes at a cost. The fire within you seethes, demanding to be unleashed. You find yourself absent-mindedly feeding fires. You can't bear to allow a fire to sputter out. You feel most comfortable while holding a lit torch or sitting in front of a campfire. That's pretty cool. You're like an arsonist, basically. You can't stop lighting fires. It's lit. More importantly, this gift comes with no special protection from fire. You're as vulnerable as any other creature to fiery magic, including your own. Phoenix sorcerers can use their powers to pull themselves back from the brink of death, and all too often their own rash nature or reliance on destructive magic is what puts them in there in the first place. Such sorcerers are wanderers by necessity. The volatile nature of their magic makes other folk nervous. If a fire breaks out in town, a Phoenix sorcerer had best flee, whether guilty or not. Fire is a dangerous force, and Phoenix sorcerers have a reputation, deserved or not, for reckless behavior, confident that the essence of the Phoenix can save them. Alright, so you get soul quirks, which is nice. I always like it when they add little tables like this, like quirk tables or extra bonds and flaws for them. I always think that's a nice extra touch for them. You have to mindly ignite small fires that quickly sputter out. You cackle like a fiend when you unleash your fire spell. I mean, everyone has to do that anyway. That's basically an unwritten rule. Yeah. You admire fire even if it burns your friends. You are covered in burns that mark the first time your power manifested. You like your food charred. You're like it overdone on the barbecue. I saw a fire themed wild magic table. It'd be perfect for this. Yeah, built-in pyro feelings. I'm a fire starter. Fire starter. So you are brave to the point of recklessness. Okay. So, at first level you get Ignite. You gain the ability to start fires with a touch. As an action, you can magically ignite a flammable object you touch with the hand. An object such as a torch, a piece of tinder, or the hem of drapes. Okay, so you are that guy from X-Men. What's his name? Is like the guy with the lighter in X. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. Mantle of Flame. Starting at first level, you can unleash the Phoenix fire that blazes within you. You have to say it like that. Unleash the Phoenix. As a bonus action, you can magically wreathe yourself in swirling fire as your eyes glow like hot coals. For 1 minute, you gain the following benefits. So that's 10 rounds. You shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Any creature takes fire damage equal to your charisma modifier if it hits you with a melee attack from within 5 feet of you, or if it touches you. Then whenever you roll fire damage on your turn, the roll gains a bonus equal to your charisma modifier. Nice! That's really good, and it's long rest cooldown, not short. So that's quite nice. You can do that once. And for 10 rounds, that's pretty good as well. The charisma modifier damage plus the ability to, because you're going to be rolling fire damage a lot, you know, you're going to take cantrips like firebolt and stuff like that. I'm triggered Zelda. The guy on the light, the fire starter dude, he has a zipper lighter. Yeah, he did, you know, he was like the guy was his name Pyro? Was that his name? Oh my god. I remember like the ice guy was called Barbie from Boston, and he was dating that rogue girl who was like, she had some weird hair thing going on and like low self-esteem or something. I don't know. So anyway, that's a little bit off topic. But Mantle of Flame is such an awesome ability. Like, can you imagine like you just like set yourself on fire? So that's pretty cool. Jamalco, we're just taking out the Mantle of Flame. Right. Sorry, the Sorcerer's Origins. You haven't missed anything yet. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I feel like if you guys have ever played any Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay or know anything about the Warhammer universe, this Phoenix Sorcerer reminds me of the Fire Wizard from the Empire, in that they do loads of damage, but they always like blow themselves up in the process. I like that. Game to set yourself on fire is sick. Scorching Ray of that, an empowered spell. Quickism! So, is Arcana Roleplay watching the Braz? I haven't seen. Is that real? So, Sky, I don't know. I mean, the guy from that crappy Spider-Man TV show? That show was sick. My spidey senses are tingling. Mary Jane. Mary Jane. That's how that cartoon TV show for kids went, right? Anyway, Phoenix Spark. Starting at 6th level, the fiery energy within you grows restful and vengeful. In the face of defeat, it surges outward, Craigasm, to preserve you in a fiery roar. If you're reduced to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to draw on the spark of the phoenix. You are instead reduced to 1 hit point, and each creature within a 10 feet radius of you takes fire damage equal to half your sorcerer level plus your charisma modifier. So that's probably like about 6 or 7 at 6th level. That's pretty cool. And there's every creature as well, so it's not every enemy. If you use this feature while under the effects of your Mantle of Flame, this feature instead deals fire damage equal to your sorcerer level plus double your charisma modifier, and your Mantle of Flame immediately ends. So that would be 6 fire damage to your sorcerer level at 6th level plus double your charisma modifier, which is maybe a 3 or 4. So I'll say it's 3, so it could be 12 damage to everyone, which is sick. So you kind of want to die. That's really funny. Like, you're playing a wizard who wants to go down. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I saw that one. There's another kind? They actually made real movies? Yeah, I agree, Lewis. I've been playing a lot of Warhammer Total War, and that's pretty funny. Yeah, I like Phoenix Spark. That's super funny. Like, you're going to be playing like this class differently, which is something that I quite like about when they do these Unearthed Arcanas. You know, you're playing a sorcerer who wants to be in the thick of combat and wants to be getting knocked down, so you can do Phoenix Spark at 6th level. And your Mantle of Flame means that you want to be getting hit because everything that hits you takes damage, and you want to be hitting things, which is cool. So I like that. I am liking the Phoenix one so far. A suicidal sorcerer, yeah. You're like, oh, you going down to 0? Well, get fucked, you know. Oh man, nourishing fire. Unless, of course, all your teammates are around you, in which case you're going to screw them over as well. But you're almost like a fire ship, you know. You're just going to like crash into combat. Nourishing fire. Starting at 14th level, your fire spells soothe and restore you. When you expend a spell slot to cast a spell that includes a fire damage roll, you regain hit points equal to the slot's level plus your charisma modifier. Huh. That's an interesting mechanic. When you expend a spell slot to cast a spell that includes fire damage. I don't think that's been... is that a clause that we've seen before? Expending a spell slot with a certain damage roll and then... That's pretty cool. It's not a lot, you know, because at 14th level you could be casting some pretty damn good spells. So actually it's not so bad, really. Plus your charisma modifier is the one that you max out, so that's pretty cool. And then, of course, what would this origin be without being able to turn into a phoenix? At 18th level, you finally master the spark of fire that dances within you. While under the effect of your Mantle of Flame feature, you gain additional benefits. You have a flying speed of 40 feet and can hover... Wait. Oh, okay, so this is while under Mantle of Flame. So it lasts for 1 minute. You have resistance to all damage. Nice. And if you use your Phoenix Spark, that feature deals an extra 20 fire damage to each creature. It's cool how these mechanics combo, you know? Like, so Mantle of Flame, you know, combos with Phoenix Spark, which combos with Formula Phoenix, which is really nice. It's a different way to play a class, which is something that I really like about them. When it is... So here's the thing. When they create an Unearthed Arcana, which is like, here's a new druid that plays just like a druid, but now there's a different animal, you know, or here's a fighter, and instead of hitting things with a sword, now you're hitting things with a big hammer. Crazy, right? You know, that's fine. You know, that's fine. But I really like stuff like this, which is like, okay, how am I going to play a sorcerer that gets into combat and wants to be hit? You know, that makes me think immediately of some really cool character ideas. So here's the thing. What would be great is, because you want to get hit all the time, you want to, like, you could multi-class into something that would give you like a taunting feature. Even something like a bard. You know, like you can go into a like a vicious mockery on a creature, get its attention, and then you blow up after it hits you. Like, the combinations of this are quite good. And in terms of power level as well, sure, it seems pretty good. It seems like it'd be really good, you know, but that comes at the cost of going down, you know, and then to 1 hit point. So you're constantly dancing on the edge of being alive or dead, you know. I think C is my favorite. Have a look at it in a second. Multi-combo strike. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Paladin Sorcerer. That could be good as well. Or even, God, there was an Unearthed Arcana Fighter archetype out a few months ago, or even a few weeks ago, and that gave you the ability to taunt creatures, and I think it was the Knight. Off the top of my head, I might be wrong, but that allowed like creatures to like be hitting you rather than everyone else. That could be quite silly. That could be quite funny. I really like this one. I do. And usually I don't like the Unearthed Arcana too much because, you know, they're not so great. And I certainly don't like the Favored Soul that much. I think it's fine. But Phoenix Sorcery is cool. And thank you to November Brow for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Of course, if you guys haven't followed, go ahead and hit that follow button and join us. Let's see what you guys are thinking about the Phoenix here. The NPCs are always fun in the game, right? That's true, right? Hey, what's up, Scotsman? Man, I wish I had a Bebo still. Those were the days. Those were the days. Sorcerer gonna get hit sounds risky. Yeah, I like that though. I like that you have to take the risk. Because usually sorcerers are the weak ones, you know? Yeah, and the flame, I mean, the Formula Phoenix is just cool as well. I just really think Mantle of Flame is sick. You know, you just turn it into a on fire and you're fine, you know? It's sweet. Alright, enough circle jerking. We'll have a look at the Sea Sorcery. Alright, so Sea Sorcery is nice and easy to say. Try and say Sea Sorcery 5 times quickly. I'll hide your page if you don't mind. Sea Sorcery, Sea Sorcery, Sea Sorcery, Sea Sorcery, Sea Sorcery. Okay, it wasn't as I thought. The power of water is the strength of flexibility, resilience, and a relentless nature. Water parts to allow a ship to sail over it or a diver to plunge into it, but their passing leaves no mark. Water flowing down a mountain reaches the sea. It might bend and turn across valleys and down hillsides, but it slowly and steadily returns to the waves. Those whose souls are touched by the power of elemental water command a similar power. Your heritage ties to powerful creatures of the sea, such as Nereids, the lords of the merfolk, and elemental powers. Like a river, you feel the call of the ocean. The call is ever present in your heart, and you are never completely at peace until you are near the sea. Seems good, man. Seems good, man. What's up, Pale Archer? No worries, man. I see sorcery by the seashore. Hey, Queenie, how you doing? Hot and sexy grill, what up? Yeah, okay, Sea Sorcery sounds good. What was I gonna say? Play a mermaid, play a merman, and then take Sea Sorcery Origin. Alright, so Solar Sea. At first level, your Tideless Sea grants you the ability to breathe underwater, and you have a swim speed equal to your walking speed. That's interesting. As a class, you get the ability to breathe underwater. Usually that's a racial ability, right? And having the swim speed equal your walking speed. Where's your hentai? Coming up soon. We're just getting onto the sea. Hey, bread boomers, gone. I haven't eaten any bread today, so you're safe. Curse of the Sea. When you choose this origin at first level, you learn the secret of infusing your spells with a watery curse. Watery curse doesn't sound good. That makes me think of like a watery sauce on pasta. You know, it's like it's a bit watery. Okay, when you hit a creature with a cantrip's attack, when a creature fails a saving throw against your cantrip, you can curse the target until the end of your next turn, or until you curse a different creature with this feature. Once per turn when you cast a spell, you can trigger the curse triggered if that spell deals cold or lightning damage to the cursed target, or forces it to move. Doing so subjects the target to the appropriate additional effect below, and then the curse ends if the spell isn't a cantrip. You choose the effect to use if more than one effect applies. Okay. Will is gonna need to read this again. So you cast a spell. You can trigger the curse if that spell deals cold or lightning damage, or forces it to move. So there's 3 clauses on that. And then you get an additional effect below which you choose. Then the curse ends if the spell isn't a cantrip. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Oh, so there's the conditions cold, lightning, and force movement. That's interesting. I haven't seen something like that before. If the affected target takes cold damage from your spell, the target's speed is also reduced by 15 feet until the end of your next turn. If the spell already reduces the target's speed, use whichever reduction is greater. Huh. Okay, lightning damage. If the affected target takes lightning damage from your spell, the target takes additional lightning damage equal to your charisma modifier. Alright, so that's a little bit like the Mantle of Flame, but you don't have to get hit for it. Force movement. If the target is moved by your spell, I'm deeply moved. Increase the distance it is moved by 15 feet. Wow, extra 15 feet is actually quite a lot. It's extra 3 squares on a battle map. Alright. So that's whenever that happens. Named Ursula, yes. Sounds like a hentai to me. Soggy shorts. Watered down beer. That's what we feed the kids. Oh man. Gives food to people no reason. I just seen Becca's tweet. She says travel anxiety with Encounter Roleplay's new episode of AA podcast. It's more like schmavel schmanxiety. Nailed it. Alright, I like this. I haven't seen something like Curse of the Sea. And maybe that's because I just don't read the fucking rules. Or maybe it's because it's a new or just little used use of clauses. But I like it when they bring in, like, not necessarily new mechanics. I like it when they bring in new mechanics, but also when they bring in, like, little used things that are cool. Like this. I like it. I'm liking this Unearthed Arcana way too much. Eldritch Blast combo, one more combo. Seems like a natural choice for Sea Sorcerer. Yeah, I mean, you can, like, get them in water and then lightning them and extra science damage. No worries, Gagif. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Watery Defense. Again, Watery Defense isn't a cool sounding ability. Like, what kind of defense have you got? It's a pretty watery kind of defense, you know. Alright, let's see what this is. At 6th level, you gain resistance to fire damage. Get fucked, Phoenix. You also gain the ability to defend yourself by momentarily assuming a watery form. As a reaction, when you are hit by an attack and take bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage from it, you can reduce that damage by an amount equal to your sorcerer level, which at this point is 6, plus your charisma score, which is probably an extra 3 or 4. And then you can move up to 30 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. Once you use a special reaction, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. That's really cool. Getting to move an extra 30 feet without provoking attacks of opportunity is really good. That's interesting because this effect has been seen before in plenty of other classes where you get to reduce damage on a reaction. But getting to move as well after you do that. Assuming you're not dead, of course. Unless when you're knocked out, you then zoom across the floor. Pyro uses firewall, so this would be water wall. What about Wonder Wall? We just Skyrim shouts all over, yeah. So it's a moat. Yeah, it's a little moat. This is my watery defense. I built a moat around myself, and I like it though. So a twist on the norm. Shifting form. At 14th level, you gain the ability to enter a liquid state while moving. How does that work? When you move on your turn, you take only half damage from opportunity attacks, and you can move through any enemy's space but can't willingly end your move there. On your turn, you can move through any space that is at least 3 inches in diameter, and do so without squeezing. When you stop moving, the regular squeezing rules apply if you're in a space one size smaller than you, which is like a certain amount of D10s, I think, when you end your... something like that? I don't know. You can't willingly stop in a space smaller than that, and if you're forced to do so, you immediately flow to the nearest space that fit you, back along the path of your movement. That's interesting, isn't it? Shifting form, getting able to... yeah, getting able to change into that. You become like a sponge. A watery sponge. Magic! Starting to delve the dongle. That's how to do it. That's how I do it every day. Bubble talk. Yeah, shifting form's alright, I guess. I mean, it doesn't seem incredible, but you know, you can move past everyone and get out of combat, I suppose. Is a good running away tactic, or just getting past the enemy tactic without taking too much damage doing so. And then just getting into small spaces can be useful. I mean, there's a ton of opportunities for moving through any space just 3 inches in diameter, you know. You come up through Strahd's castle just through, like, the kitchen sink or something, you know. Water Soul, starting at 18th level, you become the sea. You no longer need to eat, drink, or sleep. Standard. A critical hit against you becomes a normal hit. That's interesting. Have we seen that before? Not off the top of my head. A resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. I don't think it's as good as Formula Phoenix, which gives you flight speed, resistance to all damage, and then extra 20 fire damage on Phoenix Spark. But a critical hit against you becomes a normal hit can be useful, because they're doing crazy damage at 18th level as well. Hey, what's up, support? How's it going, man? Where'd you been? Where've you been? Squeezing under doors as well, yeah. Does it have an ale form? So you can be drank by your companions. Yes, I don't mind sea sorcery. I think I prefer the Phoenix one still, but I like sea sorcery more than I do Favored Soul. Sometimes I can only think by making sounds with my mouth. Yeah, okay. I like it a lot. Hey, what's up, Lizard? How's it going, man? Imagine that power in bed sounds more like hentai to me. Well. Yeah, I don't mind this one at all. It's again, none of these seem to be ridiculously overpowered, but some nice combos here with sorcerer spells with cold damage, lightning damage, and force movement. I think the lightning damage one might be the one that you go for, because not that many spells force movement. I think more would do lightning and cold damage. I could be wrong. Apparently it happened once before. It was very, very strange indeed. Been down to Wales for a week. Oh, I might be making my way down to Wales next month at some point. Seems like a standard streamer quirk. Yeah, maybe so. Alright, so Stone Sorcery. Apparently this one, from what I heard, and this was just a guy told me this, but Stone Sorcery isn't that great. So, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? We'll form our own opinions. Your magic springs from a mystical link between your soul and the magic of elemental earth. By the way, can we get some stones? Can we get some ERP rocks in chat for the Stone Sorcerer? Alright, you might trace a distant ancestor to the plane of earth, or your family might have earned a mighty boon in return for a service of the Dower Lords. There's a creature like, I forgot what they're called, but they're like rock golem guys. Wherever you're past, the magic of elemental earth is yours to command. Your link to earth magic grants you extraordinary resilience, and stone sorcerers have a natural affinity for combat. A steel blade feels like a natural extension of your body, and sorcerers with this origin have a knack for wielding both shields and weapons. In combat, your place is amid the fray. You rely on your elemental nature to shield you from harm, and your magic and metal weapons to overwhelm your foes. Interesting. At first level, you gain proficiency with shields, simple weapons, and martial weapons. So this again seems like a melee spellcaster. I mean, like, it's a 18th level, not leading to eat, sleep, and drink. A lot of automaton classes will get that. Or they'll need to enter into, like, a weird comatose thing for 4 hours. So I don't think that one's huge. Yeah. Or maybe I've just been looking at so much crazy homebrew recently, you know. The Ganassi. I was thinking of something else, actually, but you're right. Making my way to Wales, walking fast now, walking faster, piano solo. Get down to Wales. Yeah, I might be going near with Redundant UK, and we might be going to a LARP event, and City might come with me, and we might shoot some videos there over a weekend, me doing some LARP stuff. If that would interest you, let me know. Alright, so you get metal magic, because stones are metal. Your affinity for metal gives you the option to learn some non-sorcerer spells that focus on your weapon attacks. Interesting. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn a sorcerer spell of first level or higher, you can select the spell from the following list of spells. In addition to the sorcerer spell list, you must otherwise obey all the restrictions for selecting the spell, and it becomes a sorcerer spell for you. Alright, a little bit like the Favored Soul. But you get Compelled Duel, Searing Smite, Thunderous Smite, Wrathful Smite, Branding Smite, Magic Weapon, Blinding Smite, Elemental Weapon, and Staggering Smite. Okay. Cool. So it doesn't directly steal from another class's spell list, which is something I actually like. Dual Wielding Shield powers. You just become a stone. At first level, you get Stone's Durability. Your connection to stone gives you extra fortitude. Your hit point maximum increases by 1, and it increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in this class. As an action, you can gain a base AC of 13 plus your constitution modifier if you aren't wearing armor, and your skin assumes a stony appearance. This effect lasts until you end it as a bonus action, you are incapacitated, or you don armor other than a shield. That's interesting because those are all paladin spells. Yeah, but you don't get access to every single paladin spell is what I mean. All the AC. Yeah, you get all of your shields out, then you stone's durability. Yeah, I like it. I like that you just don't get a flat AC, that you don't have the ability to wear armor or do anything else. I've seen a lot of homebrews tell you that that is your AC and it remains static, which I don't really like. So 13 plus con modifier, you know, probably something like 16, 15, 16. So that's pretty good for a sorcerer. Because you're going to be in combat, and then you've got proficiency with shields, so you know, you got to be thinking that your AC is actually going to be doing pretty damn well. I am a stone. This is my father, and this rock is my grandfather, the boulder. Bunch of cons, some decks, and you're set. Multi-class with monk. You'd probably do quite well, wouldn't you? Let's see, yeah. Stone Aegis. Starting at 6th level, your command of earth magic grows stronger, allowing you to harness it for your allies' protection. As a bonus action, you can grant an Aegis to one allied creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The Aegis is a dim, grey aura of earth magic that protects the target. Any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage the target takes is reduced by 2, plus your sorcerer level divided by 4. Equations! Math! Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage a target takes is reduced by 2, plus your sorcerer level, which is 6. 6 divided by 4. Okay. Wait, no. 2 plus 6, so 8 divided by 4. Okay, fuck me. This effect lasts for 1 minute until you use it again, or until you are incapacitated. In addition, when a creature you can see within 60 feet of you hits the protected target with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space you can see. Oh, gone too far. Within 5 feet of the attacker. Huh. You can teleport only if you and the attacker are on the same surface. You can then make one melee weapon attack against the attacker. If that attack hits, it deals an extra 1d10 force damage. Damn! And then extra damage so it scales to 2d10 at 11th and 3d10 at 17th. Huh. So, I prefer to divide an opponent by 4, yes. That's interesting. Stone Aegis seems a little bit complex though. Any damage the target takes is reduced by 2 plus sorcerer level divided by 4. There's probably an easier way to do that, right? Lasts for 10 rounds. Or unless you're incapacitated. I like the teleport and attack though. I like that. Okay. Stone's Edge. Stone's Edge. Oh man, you can join in the Thursday games, Breadboom. I'll be doing casting stuff pretty a few weeks, so I'll run a cast. Starting at 14th level, your mastery of earth magic allows you to add the force of elemental earth to your spells. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose one creature damaged by that spell on the round you cast it. That creature takes extra force damage equal to half your sorcerer level, which is 7 at this point. Can be used once per casting of a spell. Damn. Okay. It's pretty good. Once per casting of a spell. So you can keep doing that as many like spell slots as you have. Earth Master's Aegis. Beginning at 18th level, when you use your Stone's Aegis to protect an ally, you choose up to 3 creatures to gain its benefits. Okay, so you really do become just a rock dude, you know? Protecting everyone else. That guy's really my rock. Use reaction to hit a melee as a cast isn't the best use for reaction, I'd say. I guess for this one, maybe so. Maybe it is better than it would normally be. Let's see. Metal Magic is all I can think about is a heavy metal sorcerer. Yeah, he's like that guy from Mad Max with the guitar. Stone Sorcerer, yeah. I guess like the metal magic is a little bit interesting. I quite like this, getting this spell list here. The Stone's durability is cool. The Stone Ages, I think, is just a little bit like complex. Maybe just a little bit of rewording there, and that'd be a bit more readable. But using your reaction to teleport within 5 feet of being able to teleport about 60 feet and make an attack on a reaction, because all you're going to be doing is making a lot of melee-based stuff, because you've got proficiencies with simple and martial weapons as well. So you can do some damage of that. Then Stone's Edge, I'd say, is just good. Takes extra force damage equal to half your sorcerer level, which is 7, and, you know, it's not bad, doing an extra 7 damage whenever you cast a spell. And then Earthmaster's Aegis combos with Stone Aegis. I think that could be reworded just to be a little bit more easy to understand, a bit more readable maybe, who knows. Feel like it blurred the lines between druids and sorcerers too much. Sometimes they do that, don't they? So you need strength or dex to be able to connect also. To be dealing great damage with it, I guess so, yeah. It depends how many spells you're going to really want to be casting, because it would... You're encouraged to take Constitution with this, and you're encouraged to take Strength, and you're also encouraged to take Charisma. So I guess those would be your main 3. But yeah, I think someone said to combo with Monk AC things. I don't think that would stack. It definitely wouldn't. You'd just take the first one, or whatever was better, I guess. It's a bit odd, isn't it? It does a lot of things, the Stone Sorcerer, which I'm not sure, like, you know, that's a great thing. I don't think it's my least favorite. I think the Favored Soul is probably my least favorite, actually. What's up, Pandoras? You're a combat caster. Yeah, which isn't something I mind. I think that's kind of cool, you know, getting to do spells and hitting things as well. Those are both cool things that you might want to be doing. I think the Phoenix does it best in terms of, like, the mechanics letting you do that well. Because it is old, isn't it? You're like a... You're not even necessarily a... You are a combat caster, but you're like a caster tank almost, aren't you? Because you want to be taking the damage for everyone else, and you want to be doing the Stone's Aegis to protect them. So, yeah, interesting. You need Charisma by default, then Dex to get more AC, and use finesse weapons. Yeah, it's maybe not so well thought out, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I mean, again, this is all playtesting stuff, so you could probably edit this, and indeed Wizards might, you know, make changes to this one. But here's the thing, with Unearthed Arcana, what I tend to find is that they do some really good, like, first couple of ideas, like the first, like, 3 that they have, and then they're like, okay, how about just another thing? How about stones? You know, like, everyone likes some rocks. Am I right? And everyone's like, well, yeah, you know, rocks are cool, I guess. But I always feel like the last one tends to be a bit more of like an afterthought, maybe. Maybe that's not true. Maybe they just put them in any fucking random order, I don't know. But, yeah. I really like Phoenix Sorcerer, though. Like, the ability to turn yourself on fire, the ignite thing's a nice little fluff piece. It's not going to be crazy. Because you could just cantrip or, you know, Firebolt basically does that. But Phoenix Spark is cool. Like, you're going to play so much differently as a sorcerer when you're a Phoenix Sorcerer. You're going to... You want to take damage, which is weird. And you want to be reduced to 1 hit point. And you kind of want to be in... Like, you'd go so far as to cast AoE spells and purposefully make yourself in that radius of damage so that you can Phoenix Spark. Like, and then you get the healer to heal you back up again. You know, like, you lay on hands, the Phoenix, he goes back up again after that. That'd be kind of funny. I like the possibilities that the Phoenix Spark is making me think of. So, I like that feature. Makes you play differently, makes you think differently when you're playing a sorcerer, rather than staying back and casting spells like normal. I do feel like the identity of the sorcerer is a little bit strange. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it has such a strong identity as the wizard does, or like the druid does, or the warlock does in 5th edition. Like, yeah, the warlock definitely has its place. You know immediately what the warlock does. You know immediately what a wizard can do. But sorcerers do exist in little I mean, this is just personally what I've found from sorcerers in the game. I don't know if you guys consider that to be the same, or if you've had different experiences of sorcerers. Maybe it's just this this edition as well. I feel like sorcerer's stronger identity than a warlock. That's interesting. That's interesting. See, mechanically I feel differently because warlocks have this weird thing going on, you know, like with their spell slots and stuff like that. And I've always found that in our games that we've played, whenever there's a pact involved, that the demon pact has played a really big part in the stories. So take like Tinker's Tale or the Broken Kingdoms, and those have played major parts. And maybe it's because I haven't played with a great many sorcerers who have been like in the games that we're playing, or like prominent features. Everyone gets a rock. Yeah, it all looks way more specified into a role. Outside magic. Yeah, no, I get the fluff of sorcerers, and I definitely like that idea that they are kind of like raw magic ones. I'm not saying that the idea of sorcerers is weird or bad. It's just that I feel like they don't necessarily have their own kind of space in terms of the feel of the class, how they play, as much as how they read. Yeah. Maybe they need, you know, maybe the sorcerer needs a bit more love than the phoenix. Like I'm trying to think of the amount of sorcerers that I've actually seen played, and I'm struggling to think of sorcerers that have been played in our campaigns over the past year. In fact, I'm going to go to my website right now, and I'm going to look in the player sheets. I'm just going to check if there are any sorcerers in any of our games right now. And of course, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 campaigns. It's not only the beginner's play, Numenera's a different game. Open Legend, I guess we're all kind of a bit warlocky in that. Age of Worms, no sorcerers. Prince of the Apocalypse, no sorcerers. Laws of Limbo, no sorcerers. It's interesting. That's just a tiny survey. There we go. Just on my games. But yeah, Sorlock for the win. That could be interesting. You know, like multi-classing. But yeah, yeah, and then Adventurers Anonymous as well, so I guess that's a 9th. Anyway, that is a tiny survey compared to, like, you know, the millions of campaigns that are going on. But yeah, last character I played was Sorcerer, but that's back in 2nd edition. That's interesting, Alan. Sometimes there are people who want a normal life, but magic comes along and says, screw you, normal life, enjoy magic. And the character's like, fuck, well, and you could make a whole point of being a sorcerer wants to be rid of their magic. I like that idea. And certainly I've read some good fiction stuff where that happens, sorcerer-wise. But in other systems, sorcerers are like wild magic, less predictable and stuff, but less powerful. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that, you know, wild magic's sorcerers are a thing. For sure, Sharkline. I think you're right, though. I feel like in previous editions, sorcerers might have had more of a space in the game, and maybe less so nowadays. But like I say, let's say, yeah, food for thought. You know, food for thought. Let me find this thing that I was going to look up here. When was the last Sage Advice out as well? It was like a long time ago. Alright, what we might do here. Okay, so I had a little idea for something that we haven't done in a little while. So I like food for stomach better. Me too. So you guys might remember, if you've been here for a while, on Sundays we did a thing called the D&D quiz, which is basically I find a bunch of rules as written questions for the game. What's up, Beast Runner? Which I might do some chat plays later on. We might do some of that. The Shadow of the Demon Lord Sorcerer builds up stress and they cast spells that has a chance to explode. That's pretty cool. I'd love a mechanic like that, actually, Sharkline. But yeah, the D&D quiz, basically there are a bunch of weird rules in D&D5E. Now, this is basically a fun little game to test your knowledge on actually how rules work, because there are so many rules that get hand-waved and that get commonly used but aren't actually in the rules as written, that I homebrew myself when I don't think of them. I don't even know how the rules are as written. And we're going to test some of your knowledge as well. Now, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, which are basically, some of them are errata that they have changed. Some of them are just things that you might not know. And the way that you can vote on your answers today, you can vote nay or vote yay. So I'll try and phrase them as yes or no questions, but sometimes the questions may require a number, or sometimes you might say yes in this case, you know. Is there a race that gets born out of a dream of a powerful being while sleeping in a major magical event? Not as such off the top of my head. I mean, you could make that your backstory, though. Nothing to stop you. So that's what we're going to take a look at here. So and let me bring up another thingy here in just a second. I'll ask you a few questions. Sounds like how beholders are born. We'll have to ask Mr. Gogglestalks, won't we? So that's fine. Alright, alright, now this is a funny question. This isn't exactly a yes or no. And if you were around a few months ago when we last did this, you might have heard this answer, but hey, we're gonna do it anyway. So first question for today's quiz, and keep count of your scores, you know. What happens if a druid wears metal armor? The question is, what happens when a druid wears metal armor? I want to know your answers. Not necessarily a vote yay or nay one, but let me know what you think about that. The thingy is a stone sorcerer. Let's see. Chat plays quiz night. That's right, yeah. Isn't there an Eberron race like that? I don't know. Maybe. You could just homebrew it if you don't know. The answer is yeah. Pandora's boxes, they die. Kappa. They have a midlife crisis. It wilts. Is it really 17 inches? Wait, is it? It pinches in all the wrong places. The druid explodes. They cannot cast spells. They lose their powers. Interesting answers here. They lose their magical powers. That's a good guess. They get negatives to rolls. He's a druid of silicon-based life forms. That's cool. Alright, so they can't cast spells. 1d4, so okay, interesting. So the answer to what happens if a druid wears metal armor is the druid explodes. Well, not actually. So, as I'm reading this, the druids have a taboo against wearing metal armor and wearing a metal shield. The taboo has been a part of the class's story since the class first appeared in Eldritch Wizardry in 1976 and the original PHB in 78. The idea is that the druids prefer to be protected by animal skins, wood, and other natural materials that aren't the worked metal that is associated with civilization. Druids don't lack the ability to wear metal armor. They choose not to wear it. This choice is part of their identity as a mystical order. Think of it in these terms. A vegetarian can eat meat, but a vegetarian chooses not to do so. They typically wear leather, studded leather, or hide armor, and if a druid comes across scale mail made of a material other than metal, the druid might wear it. If you feel strongly about your druid breaking the taboo and donning metal, talk to your DM. Each class has story elements mixed in with its game features. The two types of design go hand in hand in D&D, and the story parts are stronger in some classes than in others. Now, it goes on for a little bit more, but it's super interesting, and I don't know if anyone knew that. I did not know that until when I read that maybe a few months ago. So you explode. Well, not really, but I mean... that's a bit of class knowledge there, a bit of history as well. The world cries with them. So basically nothing really happens except you'd have to talk to your DM about it, apparently. I don't know anyone that plays those rules, but that's an interesting bit of history, rules as written, I suppose. So, alright, so now this is a bit more of a mechanical question. I have no idea. Explosive rage! Woven advised? I don't know, Beast. I don't know. It seems like any metal. So, next question. For the Barbarian's Reckless Attack, do you grant advantage to all enemies, or only to the target of your attack? Now, when you go into a rage and use a Reckless Attack, then certain things happen, such as granting advantage to people who are going to hit you. Now, is it all people, or is it only the target of your attack? So, all enemies or target? Let me know. Only target the attack. Target. All. That's interesting, Edwin. All. All of us. All of us. All enemies. They get struck by lightning. All targets and lows on outflanking. Interesting. I'd say all. All of Chad's advantage. Seems like all seems to get tunnel vision. Most answers seem to be all here. A couple of people for target. Maybe one or two. Except only druids wearing metal armor. Alright, so the answer to this one is if you are using the barbarian's reckless attack, all of your attack rolls have advantage against you until the start of your next turn. So it is all. So everyone gets that advantage against you, rather than just the target of the attack. So interesting little bit of knowledge there. Most of you got that one right. Give yourselves a point. Give yourselves a pat on the back. So, okay. So, next question. This is about the fighter class. Now, any fighters out there, hopefully you guys know this. Does the fighter's action surge feature let you take an extra bonus action in addition to an extra action? Does the fighter's action surge feature let you take an extra bonus action in addition to an extra action? Vote yay or vote nay. What's up, Patreon? How's it going, man? 0 out of 2 fans super winning, Ellis. 50% of the way. There you go. No. Lots of no's. Nopes. Everyone's saying no here. Is anyone going to be a hipster and vote yes? I'm a pro fighter. I'm actually a fighter in real life. If you didn't know, ladies. That's funny. Let me see here. Lots of no's. Let's see. Yes. Strange ways says. Only if you're using a teabag on your image. Oh wait, there's like one guy saying yes. Surge gives you an extra action, but not an extra bonus action. So you guys were correct. You guys are so clever. Alright. Trick question. Bonus actions are like reactions. You only get one per turn. They aren't tied to normal actions in any way. You are correct. Good job. Good job, guys. So, alright, here's another one for fighters. Because you guys seem to be pro fighters. Does the archery fighting style work with a melee weapon that you throw? Does the archery fighting style work with a melee weapon that you throw? Now, no cheating, no looking up your PHBs, no Googling. PogChamp. Absolutely, Patreon. We've nailed the monthly goal and then some. We even raised enough money for a coffee maker for Sydney, so we're nailing this. So can you throw your battle axe or can you throw your longsword and still get the archery bonus on that? We've got a lot of nays coming in. We've got like a million nays at the same time there. Let's see. Yes, all ranged. Yes. Nay. Majority coming out as nay. A couple of yeses. Couple of naysayers. Any looks at bows or crossbows that you throw? Okay. I'll give you a couple more seconds to get some answers in case you're sitting there wondering. And then we shall see. We've got a few yeses actually. More than I saw at first. Let's see. Okay, so the answer is no. The archery feature benefits ranged weapons. A melee weapon, such as a dagger or hand axe, is still a melee weapon when you make a ranged attack with it, which is super interesting. Because I think that would get ruled differently some places. In some games, you know? Yeah, Sydney gets coffee. Should be happy. So yeah, there you go. Archery. So... Alright. Can a fighter... We'll do one more fighter-based question, because these are quite good. Can a fighter have two fighting styles active at once? Dueling and defense, for example. So can you have two fighting styles active at the same time? Don't worry, Patreon. It's a learning thing, you know? Half of these things I don't know either. I don't pretend to know anything about these rules. So, you know, it's a 50-50 at worst. You know? And then we'll learn the answer either way, so don't feel bad. Nays, lots of nays. Lots of nays. Nay! All in caps. That's a very, very strong nay there. You'd say so. You'd say no, sorry. If he is multi-classing. So, only if he's multi-classing? Because it's the way of a stance and all that stuff? Yeah, hipster answer. Well, you never know, you know, you might be the one out. As long as they aren't mutually exclusive. I guess that's what the question is, really, isn't it? Alright, mostly nays, mostly nays. Alright, so, don't want that one. That one here. Hey, and thank you to John Snoot for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for joining us. Alright then, so, I wonder if John thinks about this one. Is a fight specialization that gives an additional fighting style? Too much nays. That's a terrible joke. So, you can benefit from more than one fighting style option at a time, as long as they aren't mutually exclusive, as dueling and great weapon fighting are. So I think White Tuxedo is right there. So you can benefit from more than one, as long as they aren't mutually exclusive. So it's a bit of a trick question. It was kind of a yes but. But there you go. You can benefit from more than one. D&D said so. Learning. Nah. Welcome, John. Welcome, my friend. There we go. Trying to give me a second to reply to a couple of whispers here. 3 out of 5 feels bad, man. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so next question. Monk questions. Monks are weird.
Learning with Will. Hey.
Okay, so
I'll tell my mum that I learned something today. Ooh.
okay, so oh man, way out of shadow monks, they get confusing. Okay, so if a monk uses a staff or another versatile weapon two-handed, does it still count as a monk weapon? I'll read that one out again because that's kind of long. If a monk uses a staff or another versatile weapon two-handed, does it still count as a monk weapon? I wonder what people say about this one. Hey, and thank you to Tag Ghoul for following. Welcome to the event, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Vote yes. Vote yay. Seems like a no there from Pale. Did someone say monks? Well, all you monks out there, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. It does still count as a monk weapon because nowhere says that it doesn't. That's usually a good rule of thumb. Nowhere says that it don't. Probably do. Lots of yays. Says Roller. It sure does. No, doesn't it need to be a religious-based weapon of their deity? Interesting. Which monk uses a staff? That's so out of style. That's so last year, guys. Alright then, so, let's see. Most of you guys said yes. The answer is indeed yes. A monk weapon must lack the two-handed property, but nothing prevents a monk from wielding such a weapon with two hands. Fundamentally, a monk weapon counts as such no matter how a monk uses it. So there you go. Unless it has the two-handed property, you're all good there, apparently. Alright, so another monk question for out of 6, PogChamp. Core staff until your unarmed damage is higher and punch all the things. Core staffs are pretty good at low levels, I guess. Yeah, then your dies go up. Okay, so does the martial arts feature turn monk weapons and unarmed strikes into finesse weapons? So a mop can be a weapon, yeah. Using guitars. Does the martial arts feature turn monk weapons and unarmed strikes into finesse weapons? What a question. No. Got a no from Lizard.
First answers are in, Jeff. Let me just see here. The first question of the day. Got some no's in, got some yeps in.
Got my science.
Got my science thing on today.
Let's find. I have a thing for this. There we go. Let's bring that thing on the screen.
Alright then, Jeff.
We got, it better does, else why do you want to be a monk? Straight down the wrong turn. We got nay, 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 yes, yes, yes. Oh, we're about 50-50 on this one.
And the results are in.
So, the answer to, does the martial arts feature turn monk weapons and unarmed strikes into finesse weapons? No. The feature grants a benefit that is similar to the finesse property, but the feature does not confer that property. It would say so if it did. What a sassy bitch. What a sassy bitchy answer. But yes, the answer is indeed no. It does not turn them into finesse weapons, but it has a similar property to that, but it doesn't confer the exact same property as that. Hence the confusion, I suppose, or the potential confusion coming from that question. So, 5 out of 7. Let's use Dex and Strength if it doesn't add a finesse tag. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So, 50-50 there. Most of us... Some of us got it, some of us didn't. Alright, let's see. Alright, some of these are like super specific. Alright, now this is a question. I don't know how many people are going to get. I feel like I would rule this one differently. Now the question to this one is, when a monk using deflect missiles catches and throws a projectile, what is the damage of the attack? Again, this isn't a yay or nay, but when a monk using deflect missiles catches and throws a projectile, what is the damage of that attack? I'm in the lab right now, Tree Pelt.
I'm in the lab. We got the results of the D&D quiz. Next question, everybody. Time for your answers.
What is the damage of the attack when a monk uses deflect missiles and catches and throws the projectile? It's weapon plus prof plus dex mod generally, okay? We've got just a yes in from Shadow. I think you might be right, guys. The answer is yes. Is it a D4? Is it a D2? A D6? Is it something else? Weapon plus prof to dex mod? That seems to be the answers here. Good guy and lizard. Bring those on in. Seems like other people are clueless. We don't even know. Weapon plus prof. So not plus dex, okay. I thought this one would be a one that we might not get. It's a bit specific. So it reads, a missile counts as a monk weapon if thrown via deflect missiles. It deals its damage or martial arts damage, the monk's choice. I have zero clue. Whatever their unarmed attack is. I might need to blow something up in this lab. So you can choose to use the martial arts damage, or it just deals its damage. So you guys were right when it comes down to most of your answers, I think. Or martial arts die. Alright, let's move on from the monk, because as I said, they are weird. So let's go on to the paladin. Now this is a question which triggers me. But would a paladin's divine sense register a tiefling due to their infernal heritage? Would a paladin's divine sense register a tiefling due to their infernal heritage?
Time is on. Hey.
I have no idea what's going on. There are lots of words happening. They aren't weird, they make perfect sense. We've got nays, nays, nays. No, they aren't infernals. No, because they're considered to be a native of the material plane.
If they were evil, no, they are not friends, nay.
Vote nay. Alright, so we've got a lot of naysayers in. The answer is, a tiefling is not a humanoid, not a fiend, and therefore escapes the notice of divine sense. The feature detects creatures that have the celestial, fiend, or undead creature type. So, a couple said yay, but the answer is nay, I'm afraid, my friends. The paladins wouldn't pick up any tieflings with their divine science. Their divine science. You're not gonna be picking up no divine science there, boy. Okay, so now this is a bit of a sneaky question, honestly, because it's to do with rogues, and it's a bit of a sneaky answer, I suppose. So listen very carefully to the terminology used in this one. So, Can a rogue use sneak attack more than once per round? Round is important in this term. Can a rogue use a sneak attack more than once per round? So a round, remember, comprises the turns of the combatants. So round is different to turn. Turn is big, round is little. Which is confusing. Yes, says Lizard. This is all non-seance. I came here for a seance, and quite frankly, I haven't seen one. No. No, only first attack of a round. No, during his turn and as an opportunity. Okay. Interesting. Yes from Pale Archer. Vote nay. Almost everyone has said no to this one. Can a rogue use sneak attack more than once per round? The answer is in fact yes, but no more than once per turn. So in combat, once again, a round comprises of the turns of the combatants. Many features in the game, such as extra attack, specify that they work only on your turn. The sneak attack description specifies that you can use the feature once per turn, but is not limited to your turn. The feature also doesn't limit the number of times you can use it in a round, which is once again the big one. And So this rule is relevant because you sometimes get a chance to use sneak attack on someone else's turn. The most common way for this to happen is when a foe provokes an attack of opportunity from you. If the requirements for sneak attack are met, your opportunity attack can benefit from that feature. Similarly, a fighter could use the commander's strike to grant you attack on the fighter's turn, and if the attack qualifies, it can use sneak attack. Both of these options rely on your reaction, so you could only do one of them in a round. Because of only getting one reaction per round, you're unlikely to use sneak attack more than twice in a round. Once with your action and once with your reaction. So, grr, I'm so wrong. That's stupid. It's too complicated for my tiny brain. It's not stupid, it's rules as written, which is,
what I love. My name is,
What should I call myself? I need an alter ego who loves the rules as written. Let me tell my story. Seems a little OP. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, Alan. Rogues are the most balanced class I have ever seen. And I'll hear no more of it, sir. So, let's see. That's an interesting one, though. It's an interesting one, though. Alright, so here's another one, which is,
what I love.
For sneak attack. What if your ally was 10 feet away with a polearm, which has a reach of 10 feet, of course, instead of 5 feet away? Would you still be able to use sneak attack?
My name is Rolenstein. Steve.
Where'd you get that preposterous hypothesis? Did Steve tell you that? Oh, Steve.
Alright, Steve Rolenstein's my name. For sneak attack, what if your ally was 10 feet away with a polearm? Let's just check in with the results here. Nay, no. Nay, no.
Encounter roleplay. Needs to be Steve. Not adjacent to anyone? I don't know what that says. Not sure, but I'd say no. Sure, why not? Depends on their field of view. Depends what you set your FOV to. Yes, says Elsie San. Yes, says Dragons and Cats. Alright. So, for sneak attack, what if your ally was 10 feet away with a polearm instead of 5 feet away? Would you still be able to use sneak attack? The 5-foot limitation in sneak attack is unaffected by the reach of your ally's weapon. Your ally is creating a close-up distraction regardless of the weapon in hand. So those of you who said no would appear to be correct. So, I'm with Angry, why not? Flight of the Conchords, yes, my friend, yes indeed. Extremely long polearm, 50 foot, would every attack be a sneak attack? I mean, yeah, I think that's the limitation there is so that you don't do ridiculous sneak attacks all the time and getting to do extra ones. So, there you go. There you go. Alright, here's another one for the rogues, because everyone loves a good rogue, and as we all know,
They're the most, let me just, check my stats here, let me just, get my papers in order. Rogues are the most balanced class in the game.
so, can a rogue use evasion if they are surprised? Can a rogue use evasion if they are surprised? Hey, I'll say it. What's that, Joe? Do it again.
Let's just, check the old logs here.
You are super sneaky with giant polar. I mean, that's probably the thinking, right? Can you sneak up with a ballista? A hybrid zealot barbarian, phoenix sorcerer, undying warlock. Fuck me. Hey, that's more like a judo. Getting sick, am I right? Nay. You vote yay? Yes. The PHP even says the rogue. Yeah, exactly. We got my PHP for here. My PHP here? No, it's the Curse Strahd. Yes. I don't even know. Yes. We got a few yays in. This is
a better tome for me.
Alright. Surprise evasion. The rule states that if you're surprised, you can't move or take an action. A surprised rogue can use evasion, since that feature doesn't require the rogue to take an action or move. So yes, you can use evasion, because you don't have to move or take an action to do that. Hey, Rodana, what's up?
So, I think you'll find that you, stand corrected there.
Alright, next question. So... oh, man. So... this is the last rogue question, I promise. Does Uncanny Dodge work automatically against every attack a rogue or ranger gets hit by? Spell attacks too? Does Uncanny Dodge work automatically against every attack a rogue or ranger gets hit by? And spell attacks too? You decide. I want to slap Steve. Me too.
I'm afraid that Will is a little busy right now, so I'm going to be
Steve has got this one bit of hair that can't be controlled. No. Many nays, many no's, many nopes. Almost. I don't think there's a single yes. I don't think I've seen a single yes man. Alright. So, a use of Uncanny Dodge works against only one attack, since it expends your reaction, and only if you can see the attacker. It works against attacks of all sorts, including spell attacks, but it is no help against a spell or other effect, such as Fireball, that delivers its damage for a saving throw rather than an attack roll.
So, looks like you might have been corrected again, some of you.
I need a pen. Alright. Yeah, automatically is a key, I'll say no, yeah. Gotta be able to see. I'm Matt Damon. I am Steve. No, Steve's actually Steve. Oh man. What's up, Alonda? Uncanny Dodge chosen trigger. I'm triggered. Alright, so,
there you have it.
so, Sorcerer, we've just been looking at the Unearthed Arcana Sorcerer,
so, you better know these ones, kids.
So, if... oh man, some of these ones are so funny as well. So, if a sorcerer casts a spell with only verbal or somatic components using subtle spell, can an opponent use counterspell against it?
You want to be passing your D&D school? You don't want to go to clown college, do ya?
If a sorcerer casts a spell of only verbal or somatic components, using a subtle spell, fuck me, can an opponent use counterspell against it? Vote yay, vote nay, or forever.
Hold your peas.
Yes. I created a monster. Yes. Steve Rulenstein, the nose-hated fiend of D&D. Yes is none. Vote nay is Google Pie. Because fluff. You can't counter what you can't see, fool. You can't handle the truth. How's it going, trolls? Subtle spell only makes the casting, doesn't protect from counter spells. Nay. Yes, as long as he notices. It's kind of alright, so kind of a 50-50 here. We've got some yays and some nays. Alright. Subtle spell protects the spell without material components from counterspell, since you can't see the casting. So you cannot have your subtle spell counterspelled, because that's exactly what subtle spell does. It protects it from it, basically. So, oh, here's a fun one as well. So we were talking about wild magic sorcerers a little while ago, and
Well, in page 375, line 17, you'll be able to find these rules.
does a sorcerer's wild magic surge effect replace the effect of the spell that triggered it, or do both effects happen? So if you think both, then say both, or if you think replace, then just say replace. Did someone say
Wild magic.
Yes, they did. It was Steve. So, yeah. Replace or both? I'll read it one more time. Does a sorcerer's wild magic surge effect replace the effect of the spell that triggered it, or do both effects happen? We've got two boths in. Replace from Pale. Both. Vote both. Mordok hates me. You feel like you're on your own there. Don't worry about it. Replace from Dark Lord. Both.
But wait, there's more.
Almost all of the boths in, but a couple of yays in there, a couple of replaces, in fact. Both. So,
And the answer is, the spell and the wild magic surge effect both happen.
so yes, the answer is indeed
Both.
Alright then, so that is sorcerers. Sorcerers are pretty good fun. As we have learnt, reading their rules, they are weird too. Some of these answers are like 5 pages long. So, let's go into warlocks, because we were talking about locks a little while ago as well. If you are a Pact of the Blade warlock, can someone else wield your pact weapon? Can someone else wield your pact weapon if you're a Pact of the Blade warlock? Maybe the pact means that they can't. Maybe the pact doesn't say anything about it. You tell me. Yay or nay? Right here, right now. You tell me. Alright then. See, we've got some yeses in. Another pale user. Indeed, Alan. No? Nay? If he stays within range, technically, that's a rather personal choice, I believe. Sir, please, you're touching my packed weapon.
I'm gonna need to, have an inspection of your packed weapon there. Hope you don't mind.
Your blade is too edgy for them. Yes, but it's just a normal weapon. I'm a one-pack man. Or so I tell the girls on Tinder. Soon as you don't have it anymore, it disappears. Alright. Interesting. So we are divided on this one. That's a sound clip right now. That's a follow up. The point of being a warlock is being edgy, and handing off your Blackblade weapon is the opposite of edgy. Edgy, yeah. Let's see. If you're a Pact of the Blade warlock, can someone else wield your pact weapon? The answer is yes. Someone other than the warlock can use a pact weapon before the weapon disappears. So, the answer
Is yes.
So, alright. Let us see any other warlock ones that we want to have a look at. Yeah, some of those ones are quite long. No one cares about spells known. Alright, so. Here's a good one. I'd say yes if Han Solo can use Luke's lightsaber on a tiny circuit of dude will explode. So, does using a bonus action break invisibility from a warlock's one with shadows invocation? So, does using a bonus action break invisibility from a warlock's one with shadows invocation?
This is for 7 points and the prize of a tick on your paper if you want to get through to next level of D&D school, kids.
Okay, I care. I care. Yes. Never clue. Yes. I have to be an edgy gunslinger again. I don't like rules. No, says White Tuxedo. Yes, says Beast Runner. There is contention in this house. Let us see. Let us see. The answer to does using a bonus action break invisibility from a warlock's one with shadows invocation is taking a bonus action taking a bonus action breaks the invisibility of a warlock's one with shadows. A bonus action is an action. I say good day to you, sir. I say good day. Okay, so let's see. Let's go into wizards. I said that right. Let's go into wizards. So, wizards have a ton of weird things because they are wizards. Let's see. There's a lot about the wards which are weird, but we don't care about those. Okay. So, can you use a bonus action spell in the same turn as the wizard's benign transposition? Or is that considered a spell also? So, can you use, and this is quite a specific one for any wizard players out there, can you use a bonus action spell in the same turn as the wizard's benign transposition, or is that considered a spell also? Vote yay, vote nay. DNA attuned.
I'm afraid you're gonna need a retina scan for that one, much like myself. Blind as a bat about these.
What the fuck did you just say? What did you just call me? Yes, we've got 2 yeses in. We think that we can. We believe. Not a spell, so yes. Yes from Suzanne. Question mark. Yes from Good Guy Pie. Yes from Alan. Yes from Shipwreck. Yes from Beast Runner. Alright, the answer is the wizard's benign transposition feature isn't a spell, so it isn't affected by the rule on casting a spell with a bonus action. So, alright then. Let us see. Alright, so does the Blade Singer's intelligence bonus to AC supposed to stack with other AC bonuses? Is the Blade Singer's intelligence bonus to AC supposed to stack with other AC bonuses?
Let's just have a look in the there's a let me look into the lexicon, just on the back page here, look at the binding spells on the looks like
it stacks. No. Yes. Depends on the bonus. Sure.
Let me just check the got the extra little
The answer, ladies and gentlemen, 2 is the Bladesinger's intelligence bonus to AC supposed to stack with other AC bonuses. A bonus always gets added when the game instructs you to add it, unless you are already receiving the bonus from a game feature with the same name. Don't confuse a bonus to AC, such as +2, with an AC calculation, which might be 10 plus your Dex modifier plus your Constitution modifier. AC calculations don't stack with each other, bonuses do. Bonuses do. But AC calculations don't. So when we were looking at the...
Fuck me.
when we were looking at the thingy earlier, the Sorcerer origin, it gave you the Stone origin, which gave you like 13 plus Dex or something like that. That wouldn't stack with the Monk's one. So bonuses stack, but AC calculations don't. Rune Factory guy? What? Where? Why? How? So yeah, alright, so here we go. This is an equipment question. Now, this is an interesting one because I've seen this played in multiple ways. So if you attack with a shield, most likely as an improvised weapon, do you keep the +2 bonus to AC? So if you attack with a shield, if you attack with a shield, do you keep the +2 bonus to AC? Adding a number is calculation. They're all calculations. Ah! Dum bum 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 bum.
So, let's just, let me reach my, me scroll pen here of, let me just do the maths on this one. So it's going to be a +25 for the shield. X equals shield minus XC squared plus 4 divided by the root sum of the equation bonus there, which is AC calculation. And let's see what you guys are saying. Equals, okay.
I would say no, yeah, nay, yes, yes, really hope so. I like keeping with my shield. No. Oh no, maths. Yes, says Darius. Divide by 0. So that is... Attacking with a shield doesn't deprive you of the bonus to AC. So you do keep the bonus to AC. Yes! Yes, you do. And carry...
Shit. Carry the 1 over there. Equals yes.
So, alright, backgrounds. Can you have more than one background? Can you have 2 backgrounds? Can you have 3 backgrounds? Could you have 5 backgrounds? Could you have 27 backgrounds? Yay or nay? I played it differently. I've seen it played differently, yeah. I've seen it played differently.
I'm gonna need to have a little round around here to get my old timepiece out. I just set my arcane clock here, and time is ticking on your answers. This is my time-space continuum clock.
Yes, no, yay. Like the idea of using the burners when undefended. DM's discretion, as always. DM disco, I reckon. No. So very potentially break the setup of the game. It's interesting. It is. Thusly. You can have only one background. It represents key aspects of your life before you embarked on a life of adventure. If none of the backgrounds available matches your character concept, talk to your DM and use the guidelines on page 125 of the Player's Handbook to customize your own background. So, yes. Well, no, actually, you can't have more. So, let's go into multi-classing rules.
Everybody loves multi-classing, right? Hey, multi-classing.
So, let's have a look. When multiclassing, do you get cantrips from all of your classes? Yes or no? Disco sounds better. I like, yeah, DM's disco. I like that phrase. Can I have the source and rules that says you keep the AC when attacking the shield? If you search for Sage Advice Compendium, you'll find it there. It's basically all the errata that I've done over the past, like, years or so. I think actually past 12 months. So, do you get all the cantrips from your classes when you multi-class? Multi-class not broken, making classes broke since forever. Sure, yeah. I need to talk to you about backgrounds then. Yes, yes. Nay from Jasper. Got a few yeses in, a couple of nays. Whichever is higher, just like hit dice. Okay, yes. So that's kind of a yes, I guess, pal. Alright. Most folks say yes, a few say no. The answer is, if any of your classes grant you cantrips, you get all of them. So yes, you do get all the cantrips from your classes, rather than just having to choose from one list. So, another question here about multi-classing, which goes to rogues and monks. So, can a rogue monk use sneak attack with unarmed strikes? Can a rogue who's multi-classed with a monk use sneak attack with unarmed strikes? Because you cannot regain arcane casting, etc. Check individually, you say. So, that's an interesting question, actually. Because multi-classing questions are the weirdest. Let's see. Unarmed strikes aren't finesse, so you're saying no? No? Yes from Pale? Why not from Trolls? Go for it. Yes from Alan, I hope that is true. I pray. Alright, so we've got plenty of yeses in. I'll give you guys another few seconds to get in before I stop the old countdown here. Wait. We can make it wrong.
Get in your answers. Hey, time is ticking. We got some yays, some no's, yes? Yes, just creep up behind the bitch and snap his neck. It's pretty sneaky. It doesn't make sense.
Boom. And the answer is, the sneak attack feature works with a weapon that has finesse or range property. An unarmed strike isn't a weapon, so it doesn't qualify. In contrast, a rogue monk can use sneak attack with a monk weapon, such as a short sword or dagger, that has one of the required properties. So, sure, you can do it when you've got monk weapons, but not with your fists, unfortunately, with your unarmed strikes. So, good name, let me check Twitter. I love it. So, that is multi-classing. Oh, okay, so here's an interesting one. This probably is, maybe isn't an easy one. Would the archery fighting style bonus for fighter and ranger stack when multi-classing? So, would the archery fighting style bonus for fighter and ranger stack when you're multi-classing? I know, right, Alan? That's an excellent screenshot that you managed to take there, by the way. No, but you can choose from either.
Play Spence now. Ding, 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 ding. Nailed it.
All right then. So let's see the consensus. Sure, why not? You can't choose the fighting style more than once. We've got some yes, we've got some mostly nay. Bonus stack. So that was different. That was not all bonuses stack. There was a condition on that. So the answer is you can't take the same fighting style option more than once. I think most of you guys got that one. So you can't take it more than once. They don't stack. That's pretty clear, I think. I think that's an easiest one. Maybe. Who knows? So, oh my god, there are loads of fucking crossbow questions.
Betting ends. Huh.
So, there's some on some feats. Don't know how often you guys use feats. So, here's an interesting one. Can you get a critical on an ability check? For example, on a grapple attempt, does a critical win or the highest number? So, can you get a critical hit on an ability check? Interesting question. Buys the farm.
And looks like Roller 300 has got the farm. It's Steve Rollenstein here on today's D&D quiz, answering, in fact asking, the questions that no one cares about. Haha.
No from Lizard. Okay. No from Trorium. No. 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 Lots of no's. You can't get a critical hit on an ability check, according to most. I'm gonna go with yes. Roll a 20 is always a success, and a roll 1 is always a failure. So technically yes. Ability check is a no for crits, I believe. So no. Okay. I've seen a house roll differently, mostly for flavor. Yeah, me too. Yes, kind of maybe should. Yes, okay, so we're about divided. So the answer is ability checks don't score critical hits. Attack rolls do. That's really interesting because at home, well, in fact, in my games, critical hit is a critical hit. You know, whether that's on an ability check, on a saving throw, or on an attack roll. But these are the rules as written, and of course, they are encouraged to be played differently. I find it much more fun to get critical hits and critical fails at all times. So do with that what you will. So, alright, most of those are pretty obvious after that one. So, combat. Combat. What a difficult thing. That sucks, yeah. Unspoken rule, yeah. I agree, Rakan. I agree. So, oh my god, that one's a really long answer. So, don't like that question. Okay, can you move through a prone enemy? Can you move through a prone enemy?
I once saw someone prone before in the lab. It was a lady.
Who runs it raw? Yeah, I mean, yeah, who actually does that? I mean, sadists, I guess. Masochists. There's some folks out there who do it, I'm sure. Yes, depends on its girth. Good point. Put that clause on it.
Depending on the girth, you may move through the prone square.
Opportunity of attack, maybe? Girth is such an excellent word, isn't it?
Now let me just do my girth equation here. So it's 17 times by 17 divided by 17 minus 0 times by 43.2 equals... Alright, let's see.
The answer is, the prone condition doesn't override the rule that prevents you moving through an enemy's space, unless that enemy is at least two sizes larger or smaller than you. If you do move through another creature's space, whether a friend or an enemy, the space is difficult terrain for you, and you can't willingly end your move there. See PHB 190 to 92 for more rules, if you want them. So, the prone condition doesn't override the rule that prevents you from moving through an enemy's space unless the enemy is at least 2 times sizes larger or smaller than you. So,
indeed, the girth equation looked like it worked out fine, and the answer was, of course, girth.
Make sure you can't move for a prone dragon. Yeah, that would be difficult. So, alright, so, is standing up from prone considered moving? Is standing up from prone considered moving? What a question. Wonder what you guys think of this one. Da-na-na-da-na-na. Alright then. Let's see.
Let's get the answers in.
You said throw enemy, not enemy space. Get your question right. Well, that's the same thing.
Unless you're using your dong, of course.
Yes, no, it's an action. No, but it takes your move. Probably.
Alright, bros.
I'll be right back.
I'll be back in just a second. I've just got to go get my friend Chad.
Sup, bitches? I used to be called Gary. Recently changed my name to Chad. Cause I fucking love D&D. Fuck. Alright, let's see what these pussies got for some answers. It's a dodgy one, but yes. Sup, bitches. Hi. Alright, you can all add me on Snapchat. Send me nudes. Kick back some beers. And some coffee. Alright. So, where are these fucking answers? Standing up costs movement, but moves you nowhere. When the game refers to you moving, it means moving some distance. You bitch. It doesn't mean making a gesture or standing up in place. To move while prone, you crawl or use magic. Okay? Pretty fucking obvious, if you ask me. I didn't kill Steve, he's just in my basement right now. 'Cause he's a fucking liberal. And I hate that shit. So, next question. If you fail, I will hate you. Probably forever. So, next question, alright? Can a blinded creature make an opportunity attack? Can a blinded creature make an opportunity attack? I love you too. I've got a lot of fans. I'm pretty big in Japan. Just gonna... I'm progressive, that's right. Yes. Got a lot of yeses in. I've got a lot of yes men in the house. A lot of liberals. Yes, at disadvantage. Fun fact, I've never been disadvantaged in my life. Because I'm an American. And I'm white. So, can a blinded creature make an opportunity attack, you ask me? An opportunity attack is triggered by a hostile creature you can see. If you can't see an enemy, you can make an opportunity attack against it, alright? Okay? Alright, one sec. I've gotta get some beers and some pussy. I'll be right back. Or maybe not. Add me on Bebo. BBM me.
Alright, everybody, so, let's get back to the action, shall we? Sorry for the brief interruption there, alright then.
Mostly guessing? Yeah, me too. Alright then, folks. So, sorry, Chad, Gary took over there for a second, but we're back. So, next question. If I gain resistance from multiple features, does it grant me immunity? If I gain resistance from multiple features, does it grant me immunity? 2 out of 9. Still doubtful on that? I'll check. Check the Sage Advice Compendium. All is well. Nope. Got a lot of nopes. No, 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 no. Everybody says no. And the answer would indeed appear to be multiple instances of resistance don't add together. Either you have resistance to an instance of damage or you don't. No matter how many things give you resistance to the damage you're taking, you get to apply resistance to that damage only once. The same is true of vulnerability. There you go. This is an interesting one. This is one that I actually mentioned recently on the stream. So we'll see if anyone remembered or cared about me. So, this choice. So, next question. Do you get a turn after rolling a 20 on your death saving throw? Or does your turn end as you stabilize? So you've just gone down and then you roll a 20 on your death saving throw. Does that end your turn as you stabilize, or do you get to use any actions? You tell me. End at the end of the turn? End? Everyone's saying end your save for at the end of your turn? Okay. Interesting. Yes. End. So no actions left, yeah. Ends, I want to say. So your turn ends. Alright. Interesting. You make a death save when your turn starts. If you roll a 20, the 1 HP you gain lets you then take your turn. I told you all this the other day. Death saving throws happen at the start of your turn. If you roll a 20, you then get to take your turn. A very commonly misrolled one from the rules as written. But if you want to just have your house rule and be like, actually, no, you don't get your turn. You're still stabilizing. Totally valid as well. Totally valid as well. But as the rules are written, one is gotten wrong. Serious. 100%. 100%. Yep. I was right. Wow, how's that feel? 2 out of 11. That's a tricky one, though. That is like it's an interesting one, because it always gets, most people seem to think that's the wrong way around. It's going to be banning me from Twitter these days. If only I had the power. If only. Okay, so... Can permanent magical effects be dispelled? Or are they no longer considered magical effects once permanent? Can permanent magical effects be dispelled? Or are they indeed so permanent that they cannot be dispelled? Once again, the reference is the Sage Advice Compendium from Wizards of the Coast. You can find that on their website. But it has all the answers to the other rules in there, so... have the power to summon Grandma. So, yes? Suzuka? Yes? So, permanent magical effects can be dispelled? No. So, we've got 2 yeses, 2 nos. Any magic should be dispellable given the correct tools. Yes, I say. So, yes. Alright. So, we got slightly more yeses than nos. I don't want to link it in chat right now. I'll whisper it to you. Because if I link it in chat, then everyone's going to go look at the answers. Know what I'm saying? I'll whisper it to you, Beast. At the end of in an hour's time, I'll link it for everyone though. But it's only a quick Google. No. I think you were just behind him, trolls. Let me check. See if I can even check. I'd have to look into a thing. It's updating. Yeah. So, let's see. If the effect of a spell becomes permanent, it can be dispelled, unless the description says otherwise. So yes, permanent magic effects can be dispelled. So, there you have it, everybody. That is the answer. So, Do you always know when you're under the effect of a spell? Do you always know when you are under the effect of a spell? Or are there some spells that you might be unaware that you're being affected by them? Tell me. Tell me now. I am interested to see what you guys think about this one. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Display flying carpet equals regular carpet. Yeah, sounds like it. Depends on the spell, so no. Good. Give you guys another few seconds to get this one in. Because, I certainly play it where people don't always know they're under the effects of spells. But rules as written can be weird.
Can be weird.
Alright, so you're aware that a spell is affecting you if it has a perceptible effect, or if the text says you're aware of it, such as, charm, like Nadeo was saying there. Most spells are obvious, for example, Fireball, cure wounds, command. But spell descriptions like Charm Person and Detect Thoughts are more subtle spells. Some spells are so subtle that you might not know you were ever under the effects. A prime example of that sort of spell is Suggestion. Assuming you fail to notice the spellcaster casting the spell, you might simply remember the caster saying, "The treasure you're looking for isn't here. Go look for it in a room at the top of the next tower." These aren't the rebels you're looking for. You failed your saving throw and off you went to the other tower, thinking it was your idea to go there. You and your companions might deduce that you were beguiled if evidence of the spell is found. It's ultimately up to the DM whether you discover the presence of inconspicuous spells. Discovery usually comes through the use of skills like Arcana, Investigation, Insight, and Perception, or through spells like Detect Magic. So, there you go. You guys were right. You guys are so clever. Oh my god. A long history of charms. What was that spell again that makes you remember other crap? Modify memory? Maybe it is. I don't know off the top of my head. So, so, is a touch range spell considered a melee attack for purposes of subduing foes rather than killing? Is a touch range spell considered a melee attack for purposes of subduing foes rather than killing? Interesting. Personally, never would have thought aloud question myself, but I guess there's some interesting things. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So what are you guys saying? Who took my erasers? Your grandma. You don't understand the question. I'll ask the question once more. Okay, so subduing a foe would be taking them down to 0 hit points but not killing them. Subduing means that you knock them out or, knock them unconscious and they are subdued, but they're not dead. Can you subdue a creature? Yeah, with touch spell, basically. Is the touch spell says death on touch or whatever, then yes. If the spell requires an attack roll, then yes. Can be. Fucking grandma. Let's see. Vote yes. Almost there. Vote yeah. So it looks like yes, you can. Having a range of touch doesn't mean a spell is a melee attack. A spell tells you if it delivers such an attack. I would rule that one that you could subdue a foe down to 0 with a spell, honestly. But apparently, it doesn't count as a melee attack because it's a touch range spell. It's a bit of an odd question, really, isn't it? For the purposes of subduing foes. I don't know if I like that one. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Okay, so, okay, so some spells, like Eldritch Blast, target a creature. Some others, like Firebolt, target objects too. Does this mean that I can't attack the door with Eldritch Blast? Can you attack a door with Eldritch Blast is the question, basically. Yeah, exactly, Lizard. Non-lethal damage. Taking them down to 0, but not actually ending their lives. Exactly that. Exactly that. So some spells like Eldritch Blast target a creature. Others target objects too. Does this mean that I can't attack the door with Eldritch Blast? Yes, yes. You can attack the darkness with Magic Missile. Vote no. Yes, sure, yes. You can. Yeah. Vote yeah. Alright, mostly everyone's saying yes to this one. It's interesting. So, the target specifications, creature, object, or something else in spells are intentional. So, yes, it means that you can't attack a door with Eldritch Blast. Interestingly enough. Would I rule that one differently? Probably. For something like opening it, like bringing down a door, you know, with Eldritch Blast, I'd probably allow it, you know. Oh, shit. Okay. Now this is an interesting question on spells, which are dread in 5th edition. So, is there a limit on the number of spells you can cast on your turn? Is there a limit on the number of spells you can cast on your turn? Let's see. Can you attack the door if you suspect it to be a mimic of some sort? Apparently not. I mean, not as rules as written because it's a door. Once it becomes a creature, I mean, I'd allow it though, you know. House rule that one. Yes, yes. Doors are the worst. I mean, there is. Sometimes there's no way to get a door down other than with Eldritch Blast, you know what I mean? It's a tough life. There is a limit. Yes, there is a limit. Doors are OP. Yeah, they didn't nerf, man. I really hope Wizards came out of a patch. DM is being DM called being tight shit, yeah. Limit by your actions. Okay, so is there a limit on the number of spells you can cast on your turn? There is no rule that says you can only cast X number of spells on your turn. But there are some practical limits. So it's kind of a... There is no limit, but... and that limiting factor is your action. I have said that is correct. Most spells require an action to cast. And unless you use a feature like the Fighter's Action Surge, you can only have one action on your turn. If you cast a spell, such as Healing Word, with a bonus action, you can cast another spell with your action, but that other spell must be a cantrip. Keep in mind that this particular limit is specific to spells that use a bonus action. For instance, if you cast a second spell using Action Surge, you aren't limited to casting a cantrip with it. So there is no rule saying that you can only cast X amount of spells. There's no like hard number like 2 or 1 or anything like that, but it is limited by your action, how many spells you can practically do. So, the level of spells cast as bonus action versus cantrips, you could probably cast unlimited cantrips if you had unlimited actions. Yeah, again, the limiting factor is the action there. So, it's a bit of a grey one. It's kind of a lizard. Gets extra bonus point there for lizard. So, let's see. Let's move on to our next question.
Our next topic for the day.
Can you also cast a reaction spell on your turn? Can you cast a reaction spell on your turn? That is the question. Can you only cast reaction spells when they are reactive? As in on someone else's turn, perhaps. Who knows? Yes, yes you can. No, yes. I.e. shield. Okay. In reaction to a reaction. I react to the react. Me. Like counter spell, like counter spell. Sure, something like that. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes, you can counter spell a counter spell. Yes, I was talking about that one the other day as well, actually. So, you sure can. Here's a common way for it to happen. Cornelius the Wizard is casting Fireball on his turn, and his foe casts Counterspell on him. Cornelius has Counterspell prepared, so he uses his reaction to cast it and break his foe's Counterspell before it can stop Fireball. So yes, you can Counterspell your Counterspell, and you can use reaction spells on your turns. Can you Counterspell counterspelling a Counterspell? No, because I think you can only get one reaction on each turn. You could... There's possibly a way to do it. Yes, if it's reaction to reaction was what I was going to say. Yeah, counterspell can literally go on forever. You can counterspell, someone else counterspell. Help! Just add more casters. Yeah, if you had like unlimited people, you could do it, right? Yeah, if you had unlimited casters, you could do it. So, There you go. So funny. Okay. Here's the one about components. Does a spell consume its material components? I don't think so, trolls. I think there's a hard limit on reactions. Maybe a homebrew class or something. Probably not, though. Does a spell consume its material components? So if you need an Eye of Newt, does it use your Eye of Newt when you cast a spell? Well, it needs a Mexican standoff in a game only with counter spells. It states if it doesn't, only if the spell specifies the specification. Oh. Not unless it says so. Seems like a common answer. Common theme. Depends on the spell. Sure. No worries, Judo. Enjoy, my friend. Only if the spell... Fuck, I can hear myself. Yeah. I clicked play on the stream. Fuck me. Alright, so, let's see. A spell doesn't consume its material components unless the description says it does. For example, a pearl required by the identify spell isn't consumed, whereas the diamond required by Raise Dead is used when you cast a spell. I think we're kind of an example of Heroic Feast Resurrection, yeah. So, indeed, only if it's counterspelled. Only if it's counterspelled by the counterspeller. So, that should be pretty clear, I think. That's a pretty obvious one. So, if you're concentrating on a spell, do you need to maintain line of sight with the spell's target or the spell's effect? If you're concentrating on a spell, do you need to maintain line of sight with the spell's target or the spell's effect? If you are doing your thing as a wizard, is that necessary? Is that not necessary? Yeah, that's an expensive diamond, yeah. No, just the range. Plenty of nose in. Plenty of nose in. Target. So just target rather than range. Only if you're maintaining counterspell. Nah, mate. Nah, fam. Depends on the spell. Some spells require target vision. That's what Spell Sniper is for. Interesting. Otherwise, no. Yeah, of course, if you're maintaining counterspell, you've got to be doing that for quite some time. You know, you can need line of sight to maintain counterspell. So, alright, so, let's see. Let's get the results in from the lab. You don't need to be within line of sight or within range to maintain concentration on a spell, unless the spell's description or other game feature says otherwise. So, that's kind of interesting. You don't need line of sight or range to maintain concentration on the spell, unless the description says so. So, certain descriptions will say that you need to remain within a distance. Others, don't give a fuck, my cat spells up for 4 hours. Quick. You see a local doctor about that, yeah. Okay, so, okay. That's an interesting one. That's too, like, somebody's, like, super specific. So, is the damage dealt by a beast from conjure animals considered to be magical? So you cast a spell, conjure animals. Are their attacks considered to be magical? I feel like it was between 4 and 6 hours. You're in a sweet spot, you know. Not magic. Vote nay. No, only if stated. So maybe you could conjure an animal which has magical attacks, perhaps. No, the animals aren't magical beings. They're fey, but taking all features of the beast. So no, almost everyone says no on that one, which was what I was thinking you guys would most likely say to that. Let's go to that though. Okay, let's see the answer. So the stat block of a conjured creature determines the nature of the creature's damage, unless the spell stated. Sorry, unless it's stated. The stat block of a conjured creature determines the nature of the creature's damage, unless the spell says otherwise. I was adding in an extra stat there because I love stats so much. So yeah, you guys were completely correct. What's up, Salami? How's it going, man? My druid player is a pain in the ass and summons 8 velociraptors. I hate summon spells. Yeah. Summon spells suck sometimes, don't they? Okay, so. there's so many questions on good berries. Like, some people must have been asking so many questions about good berries. Alright then, so... get for a few more here, and I think we might go have a look at some homebrew class and stuff. There's a couple of ones I was meaning to look at. So, I don't care about that. Can you use a shield with mage armor? Can you use a shield with mage armor? Why, yes you can, or why, no sir, you most certainly cannot. Well, if you don't conjure a dragon and it's fire breath. Sure, I think there's a limit on what you can conjure, right? But it just gets to that what the stat block is, you know? That's what, yeah, you should always counter spell good breeze and maintain concentration whilst doing so. Are good breeze actually good? That is the question, you know, that's the question that most people are too afraid to answer because yeah, it's so hard hitting. Yes, no. Just the effect and the state otherwise. Okay. The mage armor replaces armor, but not a shield, which grants a bonus. I've just been doing that actually. I was just checking out the sorcerer subclasses. I really like the Phoenix. I didn't like the favored one so much, and the sea one was cool, and the stone one was a bit odd. And you can do shield with mage armor, but a shield? That is... you're fighting the gag reflex. Let's see what the answer is here. The answer is... mage armor works with a shield, yes. Shields are grouped with armor in the equipment rules, but various game features distinguish between the armor you wear and a shield that you wield. A shield that you wield, I like that term. So yes, they do combo. You can use the shield, and you can get away with it. And that's exactly how I've played it before, so that's reassuring. Alright. Can you concentrate on a spell while you're transformed by polymorph? My god, concentration, man. What a headache. Can you use concentration when you are transformed by spells like polymorph? You tell me. And thank you to Spotted Din for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Welcome to the adventure. If you guys haven't followed yet, go ahead and hit that follow button. I would say no. Rakam says yes. Raz says no. There is some contention. We're unsure. You can maintain concentration, yes, says Mr. Tuxedo very confidently. Ouch. It could be painful. It could be painful to maintain concentration whilst you're a sheep. I would say it depends on the intelligence of the creature you've polyed into. I don't see why not, so let's go with yes. You say yes, Lizard? I'd think no, since you're kind of not in your own mind. Alright, that's interesting. Interesting lines of thought that we're going on here. So, you can't cast spells while transformed by polymorph, but nothing in the spell prevents you from concentrating on a spell that you cast before being transformed. There you go. So you can't cast spells while you're transformed by polymorph, but nothing in the spell prevents you from concentrating on a spell that you cast before you were transformed. So yeah, you can concentrate. Interesting stuff. Hey, girlfriend. No, you're not a T-Rex. How are you going to concentrate? I don't know, man. Wolf said he wants to be a woman. That's about it. Yeah, that's about the long shot of it, I think. So, there's a lot of questions about polymorph there. Alright. Is natural armor with monsters considered to be light armor? Is natural armor considered the same as light armor? There's some similarities there between the two, right? It's a mug situation, good. Wow. Wow, guys. Wow. Chad was here a second ago. Steve has been here as well. I'm back. The mug situation is fine, guys. In that picture that I posted of Plategate, there were like 4 mugs on there, and plus we have some others, I think. No is considered unarmed. No, depends on the girth. No, because it's technically being unarmored. Alright, yes, the answer is indeed no. Natural armor doesn't fit into the categories of light, medium, and heavy armor, and when you have it, it isn't considered to be an armor that you are wearing. So, There you go. Monsters don't get light armor. Get fucked. Sorry, not sorry. So, they're not cool mugs. That's true, they're not very cool mugs. We've got enough mugs. We don't really use any mugs at the moment. So, oh my god, that answer is like a page long. So, is a vampire affected by hold person or calm emotions? This is for all of you Twilight fans out here. You sparkling, glittering vampires, little snowflakes. Is a vampire affected by a hold person or calm emotion? Is it even possible? Is it even possible? Yes, it's like having a barbarian or monk on armor defense. That's natural armor. Yeah. I'll be back. Okay, troop out. Yes. Yes. Clam emotions, no. I cast clam emotions on you. I wonder what clam emotions are like. Man, hope one day I open. Me too, man. Undead. How is a raven like a writing desk? Only a vampire can hold another vampire, being ethereal. So no. Don't know elemental money by heart. Hey, yeah, I mean that's a very common mistake that wizards use. You know, clam emotions. Definitely humanoid, so I don't say both. Needs hold monster. So, a vampire has the undead creature type, not the humanoid type, so it isn't affected by either of those spells. Easy lemon squeezy. Okay, so let's get a couple more here. Find a couple more. Now we'll look at a couple of homebrew classes I've been meaning to take a look at. Some of these questions are like so dumb. It's like, read the rules. Now to invent a homebrew spell. I think they could have been held in a thrall by a tween girl who's awkward as fuck. It's true. Okay, so. If I'm invisible and I shoot an arrow at a target, is hiding again an action? If I'm invisible and I shoot an arrow at a target, is hiding again an action? All of the critics have been... We've been putting our best people on this one for some time. It's time to put Twitch chat on it. Bum, 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 bum. Yes. You broke the invisibility when you shot the arrow. Yes. Yes. Got a lot of yeses in. Yes, unless you have a trait that lets you hide a bonus or something. You are invisible, not hidden. So yes. So Liz said so no. Sure, yeah. Sure, whatever. Do what you want. So, without a special ability, hiding in combat requires the hide action. So unless you've got like a trait or ability that can let you hide as a bonus, then yeah. This is a bit of a mindfucky one. So here's some inception for you. Are extra-dimensional spaces, such as demiplane or the space created by rope trick, considered to be on a different plane of existence? Are extra-dimensional spaces, such as a demiplane or a space created by rope trick, considered to be on a different plane of existence? I really think this one would depend on the game that you're playing in, but in the rules as written. Yes, yes, absolutely yes, yes. Yes. Everyone's saying yes here. Can't scry in there. Should be a yes. Can't scry around in there, and it's been longer than 4 hours. Baz says yes as well. What's going on, Basilini? Alright. An extra-dimensional space, aka an extra-planar space, is outside other planes. Therefore, if you're on the material plane and your foe is in an extra-dimensional space, the two of you aren't considered to be on the same plane of existence. Looks like everyone gets that correct there. So, these questions is easy peasy. Yeah, Reg, you got some delay there, my friend. You might want to stop the stream and start it up again. Slow, bro, yeah. So, alright, so you guys tell me how this works. This might be our last question on this. So, how do you get lost intelligence back, such as after an intellect devourer zeroes it? How do you get lost intelligence back? Now, say it's not 0. Say it's down to like 1. How do you restore intelligence? Is there a way? Or can't you? Maybe you can't. Bam, 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 bam. Loving this music. If you 0, you die. Greater restoration, some folks say. Greater restoration. Last time I asked this one, no one got it. Like 3 months ago. Partial recovery, each long rest. You can use a greater and or remove curse or similar. Wish, die, or be raised. Yeah, you can fucking die. That'll get rid of your problem. Yes, indeed. The Greater Restoration spell can remove the reduction to an ability score. That is a way that it's intended to be used, but I would say that there are probably some other ways you could get it back as well, that you could house rule if you were interested in doing that. Okay. So, remove curse. I think that would have to be like curse dependent, I suppose. Let's check here at this. So yeah, I think that would be a little dependent, and I was gonna go and find something here for you guys. Give me 2 seconds. I'll have it. Give me 2 seconds. I'll have it up. I promise. I would need the brain of the mind flight center. You just gotta give the DM a secret reach around. Alright then. So, what I wanted to take a look at was this here. Which had a funny name. So, and this is the College of Deviltry. Let me click on the link and get you to the actual thing here. Actually, I don't like that one because it doesn't have a nice PDF for me to look at. Let's look at the other one I was going to see. Vic! Let me just bring this page up here. Did your lady come and get lady? She came. She was here a second ago. She might be in chat still. And let's scroll down to the thing. The otherworldly patron, the constellation. Fuck me. Scroll right down again. Scroll back down again. I was going to look at this one, but meh. It was just like written out in text, so fuck 'em. Oh my god, where did this go? Where have you hidden from me? Come back. Come back from the shadows. And let's open these new pages. And have a zoomage of them. There we go. Oh, it wasn't even on screen. There it is now. Perfect. Perfect. Over 6 feet of snow today. Minerva was saying it in Canada. She's having loads of snow as well, which is madness. There we go. Change the type from the DM quiz. I guess remove curse would be better for a shadow that lowers your strength score or a ghost banshee. I guess so, yeah. Okay, so baby, come back. Let's have a look. The otherworldly patron of constellation is something I wanted to have a look at. It was what was on my list to do early in the week, in fact, with Phil. But here I am on my own doing it because I'm a single, independent young wool that don't need no Phil. I miss him. Okay, so otherworldly patron, the constellation, and if you guys have any homebrew things that you'd like me to have a look at, then feel free to shoot them in. Clutching a handful of glimmering crystals, a young human frantically paced in the top floor of an elven ruin. Worth noting that otherworldly patrons are warlock ones, right? So he was too busy muttering to himself in a language he did not understand to notice that the sun was starting to rise over the eastern foothills. The arcane runes and formulae he had etched into the ground around a conjurer's circle were beginning to fade in the morning light. The young human had spent the last year of his life consulting ancient sages, delving into long-forgotten depths, plundering dusty tombs, and scouring libraries to discover when Karad would again align itself in the sky. An untold number of eons had passed since the brilliant blue star's last alignment triggered. I'm triggered. So 3 times in the last decade, fuck me. So, the study of divination and fortune-telling is as old as time itself. There are augurs who watch the flight path of birds. There are oracles who burn offal and throw bones. Others devote their entire lives to the steady examination of fate and the future, space and time, and other metaphysical inquiries. However, there are those who do not waste their time and forge a pact with the stars themselves, such as David Bowie. These warlocks, whether brave or foolish, tread a razor-thin line between limitless truths and blinding madness. I'll plunder your dusty dome, if you know what I'm saying. Define old. So, these guys sound kind of cool. The reason I was so interested in these is that I'm writing a ancient Rome campaign where there are augurs who are the kind of source of magic and are going to be burning off and throwing bones and studying the flight patterns of birds and stuff like that. So I wanted to see what these guys were like. They have an expanded spell list, as one would imagine as a warlock. Constellation lets you choose from an expanded list of spells when you learn a warlock spell. So you get Fairy Fire, Sleep, Enhanced Ability, Moonbeam, Clairvoyance, Melf's Minute Meteors. I read that as MILFs for a second. Divination, Ever's Black Tentacles, Dominate Person, and Planar Binding. Double donger. Hello. So, you get the Maw of Akamar, or Asamar, I don't know. Seems like a hard C. Stars, as ancient and long-lived as they may be, eventually succumb to death's cold and inevitable grasp. The revelation of entropy has been granted to you in a study of Atamar. Starting at first level, when you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you can use your bonus action to grant yourself advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. If this has not been used before the next dawn, you lose the bonus. You can use this feature a number of times per day equal to your charisma modifier. Minimum of 1. That's pretty nice. Getting advantage on the next roll is real good. Milf's Minute Bootios. Oh man. Ready in a minute or less. I love it. Alright, so Guidance of Kyphon. Apply this real quick. I like the sound of this one so far. Let's see. It's for the game tonight happening in 20 minutes. I figure I should fire that one off. Okay, when you cast Milf's Meteors, massive fake boob slammed to the ground, dealing 5d10 bludgeoning and fat damage. Alright, you get the Guidance of Kyphon as well. Kyphon, guide me. Beginning at 6th level, you beseech the Stellar Guide to intervene on your behalf. When a hostile creature that you can see rolls a natural 20 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, as a reaction, you can force them to roll again with disadvantage. The next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw that you make is made with advantage. Alternatively, when a friendly creature that you can see rolls a natural 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, as a reaction, you can let them roll again with advantage. The next attack roll you make is with disadvantage. Oh, that is a neat mechanic. Yeah, we done a trivia pill. What is fab damage? What is love? Okay, that's kind of interesting. And it's a long rest. I like the kind of give and take on that one. So you can either give yourself good stuff and the enemy's disadvantage, or a friend gets to reroll on that one on a roll, basically, and then they get advantage on that roll. Be a friendly creature to yourself? No. Yeah. Alright. Just filling in the extra player slot for tonight's game. Perfect. Fat damage is just psychic. Send disadvantage for your friend in a huge advantage. High chance to roll a 1 and reroll of advantage. It's really good, actually, isn't it? It's really good. I like it. I like the give and take on that one. Alright, Scholar of Stars. Gentleman and Scholar. At 10th level, your mind has been scarred by the unblinking eyes of the great star, Alabar. Man, you instinctively know which way is north. That's really funny to me for some reason. Like a level 10 ability. Like, you instinctively always know which way is north. It's kind of funny. Okay, additionally, when you can see the stars, such as when you're outside after the sun is set, you always know which direction or path will take you to your current goal, and you can perfectly recall any path you have traveled. That's actually really good. That's actually, like, I laughed at the first ability, like the first bit of just knowing where north is, but always knowing where you're going. It's like clairvoyance, you know? It's friction. It's when your mind is willing, but your body is bruised and spongy. When you promised round 2, but you gave everything in round 1. Alright, and then you get the Revelations of Melek. At 14th level, you unravel the complex and mysterious revelations of Melek. You dream each night of the stars who have aligned themselves, alignment triggered, themselves in the sky to bathe the world in their light. You have a number of petitions equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1, and you regain all spent petitions when you finish a long rest. And I guess we're going to see these petitions down here. Actually, seems like there's a bunch of them. These revelations. 164 times been triggered. Okay, alright, perfect. Let's see then. Level 10 ability Wayfaring, yeah. I don't mind it though, I quite like that. Alright, let's have a look at these revelations, all these petitions as they're calling them. Okay, let's see. Verdong. So, as an action, you may expend 1 or more petitions. The number of petitions expended determines the number of times you roll a d12 on the Melek table. Huh. Interesting mechanic. So if you... So you can get multiple petitions spent. And they are... equal to your charisma modifier. So you roll a d12 and you can get any of these 12 options here, but if you use more of them you can get several of them. The result determines which of the petition boons will grant you. Activating any petition's boon requires no action, however it must be done on your turn. Upon activating it you are immediately granted the benefit. If a petition has not been activated within 8 hours after your roll, it expires and you lose the petition's boon. So you can actually save it and use it for later. That's interesting. It's actually pretty damn foul. But yeah, I was laughing at the first one, but like, yeah, it's actually better than I thought. And thank you to Team of Did for following. Welcome to the Avenge, my friend. A gentleman, a scholar. Welcome to the Order of the Dong. Maybe that should be for subscribers. The Order of the Dong. Okay, so entropy. Your mind is overcome by chilling darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Causing you to lose the petition and gain no boon. If you get the result more than once per day, ignore it and roll it again. So that's if you roll a 1 on a d12. Okay, that's kind of funny. Akamar, you may re-roll a failed death saving throw. You must take the second roll. And you can do that anytime in 8 hours. If you go... That's really sweet. I quite like this. I quite like this thing. Kaifon. You gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. And gain advantage on charisma ability checks for 1 minute. Okay. You get Delban. You can become acclimatized to cold environments for 1 hour and gain resistance to cold damage for 1 minute or 10 rounds. Huh. Hadar. Hadar! Yeah. Sounds like sneezing sound, doesn't it? Hadar! You become acclimatized to warm environments for 1 hour and get resistance to fire damage for 1 minute. Okay. Hiba! You can cast a spell without verbal or somatic components. Kind of not a great one to get, really, is it, a bar? I guess it could be useful in some cases. Cool. Let's see. Karad, you gain the ability to read, write, and speak any language, and gain advantage on intelligence ability checks for 1 minute. I like the use of these that they're not all like in combat as well. I like it a lot. Nihal, your movement speed increases by an additional 5 feet. In difficult terrain, costs you no extra movement for 1 minute. Sweet. Ulban. You grant yourself one surprise round in combat. This must be done before any creature takes their first turn in combat. Man, Ulban is good, dude. Did I skip Gibbeth? I did. You ward your mind so that it cannot be read by magic, and you gain resistance to psychic damage for 1 minute. Good catch. Huh, that's pretty good. Is that the grammar and spelling's on fleek since some horrific ones? Yeah, there's been some moments, you know. Let me send our address to Sydney so she can order something. Like a coffee maker. There we go. You're creepy and I like you a lot. That's actually my channel mine. I never use it. I never get a chance to. Except for on you guys. You can grant yourself maximum damage on 1 die as part of any spell attack that you make. Ooh, buddy. Zudun is good. And Alabar. This must be the best one, right? Your mind is temporarily granted insight into the cosmos, and you may choose any petition boon of your choice from the list. If you get this result more than once per day, ignore it and roll again. Sweet. Hey, Muse, what's up? Princess class. Oh, man. KMS. Yeah, okay. Is that the end of the thing? I think there's one more page. Let me find it here. I like that. I like that. And you can't like... And as well, it's pretty good because you get at least 3 or 4 of these, right? You get this at 14th level, so you're more looking at like 4 or 5 of them, really. Per long rest. And it's an action to be able to expend a petition, so it's not like you auto-do it. You know what I'm saying? And then these are extra Eldritch invocations, apparently, that you can choose. So you get Blessings of Karad. You can cast Legend Lore once using a Warlock spell slot. You can't do so again until you finish a long rest. I don't know what Legend Lore does off the top of my head. Cloak of Zudun. That seems like Flame of Udun. You know? I think you're freaky, and I like you a lot. I need to play a Warlock. Yeah, man. This one's actually really cool. Yeah, I'm digging this one. I had a look at it before, and I was liking it. So you can cast non-detection once using a Warlock spell slot. You can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Feast of Hadar, once per day. You may reduce your hit points and hit point maximum by an amount equal to your Warlock spell slot level and regain 1 Warlock spell slot. That's pretty cool. I think all of these are actually from the WotC like lore, if that makes sense, right? So I think I've there are other Hadar spells, and I've heard Zudun before, and I feel like I've seen Akamar before as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just sound really good D&D names. Who knows? You must construct additional pylons. Take a bit of a break between school and work. Hopefully lose a bit of knots in my start for anxiety. Ah, man. Gotta chill out. Forget about it for a bit. Gaze of Gibbeth. You can cast Gias once using a Warlock spell slot. You can't do so again until you finish a long rest. YouTube what? Oh, okay. You can cast Longstride on yourself, okay? And Visage of the Stars. You have to have the Eldritch Blast cantrip as a prerequisite. When you finish a long rest, choose one of the following damage types: Cold, Fire, Necro, Psychic, or Radiant. When you cast Eldritch Bolt, you may choose to change the type from force damage to the damage type you specify at the end of your long rest. That's kind of neat. Alright. That is the otherworldly patron of, let's see here. The Constellation. I've actually got a bookmark this one. Is it canon names? Yeah, I was thinking so. Thanks for the confirm. Can confirm. Yeah, last one is pretty cool. Bit of extra versatility in there. I like that. I really like this otherworldly patron. The Constellation is a bit different, and it introduces this new mechanic. I really do love the this table, the Revelations of Melek, and all the different ones that you get. Some of them are, obviously bad. Some of them are fringe use or like situational use, and others are just like simply good. So I feel like the table is fairly balanced, because you could get one that is like, well, I don't need that, so it's not like you always get something great, and you have to use that. You have to use that within 8 hours. You have to use that dice roll, and you can't really roll them or anything. I really like this one, and I don't usually like homebrew. I mean, I say that I like homebrew for the ideas and stuff, but often the mechanics are kind of like not very good. We certainly looked at some recently who have been like crazy bad. Just been informed, by the way, that interesting news. Twitch staff. It's official, Communities is here. With the launch of Communities, we wanted to reach out to tell you that you can now broadcast the tabletop RPG community on Twitch. We're a small team of tabletop enthusiasts at Twitch who want to help tabletop content grow. Feel free to reach out to all of the crew there for questions or concerns you may have regarding the community. And there's a how-to article. So that's actually something I asked for. And I know a couple other streamers that we banded together when feedback was asked for recently, that we actually didn't want to always be streaming in Dungeons and Dragons on the category. This is probably not interesting to some of you, but for those of you who are interested in the Twitch scene, when I'm playing Open Legend, I don't want to be streaming in Dungeons and Dragons. When I'm streaming Call of Cthulhu, I don't necessarily want to be streaming in Dungeons and Dragons, so it's kind of interesting. Why not before the finish of your next long rest? What did it say? And you regain all spells spent petitions when you finish a long rest. Oh, yeah, I guess you'd spend them all, and then you take a long rest to get them back, and you do them after that again. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool little mechanic there. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'd never have thought it. Who'd have thunk it, guys? Who'd have thunk it? Well, anyway, I'm going to get on to our next show here, because we've been sitting here for 3 hours, chatting away, haven't we? Dark Heresy. Dark Heresy, you say? Well, that might have been a game that I've played, I don't know, a whole season of before that you can find on YouTube. As a DM, it was a great fun game, actually. Skagef was playing in that one. Yes. Okay, who can join in and play? I'll change the title there, because we're going to go on a 10-minute countdown for our next show, which is The Laws of